Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. A breaking news out of Grambling via Football Scoop. Grambling is set to announce the hiring of Mickey Joseph as their next head coach. And I am teaming up with my co-host from Saturday Night Live, Doc Holliday, to just break the news. We'll just go over football scoop and basically we'll just go over it and then we'll drop the link and we'll have a discussion. Come and talk to us. Tell us what you think about it. Just quickly, I wanted to announce right now I'm traveling. So me and Braxton, we made it to Lexington, Kentucky. So that's where we are. And Braxton's taking a nap. I'm resting, but Braxton is taking a nap. And I just said, let me go peek at my Twitter. I haven't been on there because I've been traveling. And I went on there and I said, oh my goodness. So let me go ahead and pull up my co-host, HBCU Overdrive, Doc Holliday.
What's going on, everybody?
Can you play them? Can you play the hand claps? Because I don't have them.
Oh, I don't know if they can hear it, but can they hear it?
Oh,
I don't know if they can hear it or not. I'm dropping everything, y'all.
Oh, okay.
It's crazy.
Okay. You're fine. I don't got the hand claps.
Oh no, it's cool. It's cool. I guess it'd be a great day to be a Tiger from North Louisiana. Oh, ain't no shade.
Goodness.
Ain't no shade. Ain't no shade. You know, no shade.
No shade. We got. It looks like the Tigers have been winning recently. I don't know what's up. What's up with the Tigers? Tigers been winning, huh? The last been winning.
Well, we still waiting on another set of Tigers, and I'm trying to figure out when they gonna do that.
I have no idea. So what I want to do is basically, sometimes folks have problems with HBCU podcasters breaking the news before the official announcement, but Football Scoop, he's pretty the Football Scoop is a pretty legit publication, publisher, journalist. So I wanted to pull that up and then we could just have I want to get what you think about the Mickey Joseph hire, because I know his name was swirling around in other SWAC coaching searches.
Yeah,
it was swirling around. Look at what we have here. So we're gonna go ahead and pull up the Football Scoop. Just basically we're basing our show off of the Football Scoop and what they're saying. And after that, we will have a discussion. I want to ask before I read this, what do you think about Mickey Joseph? Because I thought he was going to Southern.
Mickey Joseph, I actually like the hire. Now, when the thing about Mickey was when Scott Frost was let go from Nebraska, he took over the program and he kind of brought some sort of respectability back to the program in his brief time. And of course, once the season ended, they brought in, they hired Matt Rule after Matt Rule got fired from Carolina. So he was kind of like he was pretty much like a stopgap. He was pretty much a stopgap coach just try to fit, trying to not let the ship
Kind of
go.
like kind of like Steve Wilkes, huh? With the Panthers, they don't never
Yes,
give the
yes,
black guy the job. Not saying that all black coaches um deserve to have the permanent job, but Steve Wilkes was one of those in betweens, right? Between Matt Rule and the coach that got fired. He did worse than Matt Rule. But what do you okay, so Blue says on here that Mickey Joseph started building his staff a few weeks ago. But to my understanding, Mickey Joseph was crystal ball to quite a few SWAC positions, like possibly Southern, maybe.
yeah.
Possibly that his name was kind of swirling for Texas Southern as well, but they were saying he was charging NFL prices. So I just wanted to get your take before we read the football scoop article on, do you think that um, other SWAC football teams had a chance and they just fumbled the ball? And will we see in this next season, or is it one of those wait and see things?
I think it's more one of the wait and see things. I don't think they fumbled the ball on it. I just think they, kind of wait and see because now you got one coaching opening left, which is Texas Southern, but then we also don't even know what's going to happen over at Alcorn. It's one of those things where like you said, we could be doing something one day and then you could be doing something 1 minute and then the next minute, boom, you got breaking news like this. And I think and I think with and I think with when it comes down to it, with this hire, he should be able to do good. And I think Blue put it in the chat. He said that he had a domestic
I
violence
remember that.
issue.
I know that. I remember that's the first thing that I actually. So Mr. Ford said Mickey Joseph's name like a couple of days ago, and I looked him up, and that's actually the first thing that I saw.
In which I only think that should be the first thing you should see, man. It should be the first thing you should see is what his accolades are
Right.
before you get into all the
I mean, I'm just saying,
foolishness.
like when you hit the Google, when you do Google, that's the first thing that came up.
Right.
Not saying that I intentionally looked for it, but I just Googled Mickey Joseph. But in that particular situation, it did say that those charges were dropped. So those charges were dropped. So, but I just remember Mr. Ford saying something about it, and so I was like, let me go look it up.
So with Mickey Joseph, so his coaching resume started in 1995. All right, he start. So let's go before that. He's from Marrero, which is outside of New Orleans. Um, he is his brother is Vance Joseph, who used to be he's a defensive coordinator in the NFL right now. He was also the head football coach with the Denver Broncos, and we all know what happened with that. So he played his football and got his education from University of Nebraska. So he was playing with Nebraska from 1988 to 1991. He was the quarterback. He was the starting quarterback with the Nebraska Cornhuskers at the time. We're talking about D Story, D Story, Nebraska Cornhuskers. So um, he did lead this team in 1992. They led the team to a 9-2 regular season record. Uh, then some other stuff. They lost to they won the game against Colorado.
Oh,
No, they lost to Colorado back then, and this was when Nebraska and Colorado. This was the old Big Eight, so this was when they was like real beef. like real beef with each other. They had beef with Nebraska. I mean, Oklahoma State. Those schools right there. But get to his coaching resume. He started his coaching in 1995 as a QB wide receivers coach at Omaha North High School in Nebraska. Then he was the run game coordinator in 1997 from Wayne State in Nebraska. And then in 1998, he was the QB coach over at Archbishop Shaw High School. That's in Louisiana. That's near New Orleans. Um, he was a grad assistant at Tulane in 1999. Now, this is where his roots coming in for HBCUs come in. He was the wide receivers coach at Alabama State in 2000. Uh,
Okay, so he's got HBCU ties, basically.
right. So Nichols, 2001 to 2003, he was a QB coach at Nicholls State. 2004, 2005, he was a running back coach at Central Oklahoma. 2005, 2008, he was the head coach at Desire Street Academy in Louisiana. Uh, 2008, 2000 to 2011, he was the associate head coach at Langston, and then 2011, 2012, he took over the program at Langston University, which, like I said, he's got his HBCU ties. 2013, he was the associate head coach, wide receivers, and special teams coach for Alcorn State. 2014 to 2015, he was a wide receiver, special teams coach at Grambling. 2016, he was at Louisiana Tech as a running backs coach. 2017 to 2019, he was the wide receiver coach at LSU. Also, he came back 2020 2021. He was the associate head coach and the wide receiver coach at LSU. So basically, he was in the hand. He had his hand with developing Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. Those guys right there. While he was at LSU. So basically, they won the national championship that year in 2019. So remember that one. And then 2022, he was the associate head coach, wide receivers, and passing game coordinator in Nebraska. And then, of course, he takes over as the interim head coach of the Nebraska Cornhuskers that same year. So overall, his college coaching record is 16-13, so it's not as bad. So remember, he still spent those 2 years at Langston, so that's where most of his coaches wins and losses came from. And of course, like I said, he took over the Nebraska job after they let go of Scott Frost.
So let me go ahead. I mean, this is you. This is he basically what you're saying is he's an experienced coach,
Yeah, he's an experienced
and
coach.
he's what Grambling needs at this time to be able to turn the program around pretty quick. Because based off of just the reaction from Grambling alum, they want to build a program. They want to build it fast, and they don't have much room for waiting to build a program. They want it done, and they want it done now. Once again, I'm going to go ahead and cite John Bryce of Football Scoop.
And
It
he's
says Tigers
legit.
trying to deal with Louisiana native, longtime veteran college coach. Grambling's extensive search to find a replacement for Hugh Jackson has nearly reached its end. Multiple sources tell Football Scoop that Grambling, a tradition rich longtime HBCU powerhouse program, is finalizing a deal to hire Mickey Joseph as the program's next head coach. The deal has not been completed. Sources with direct knowledge told Football Scoop Sunday afternoon, but Grambling has remained optimistic that it can finalize a pact. The school has announced a scheduled press conference to welcome a new head coach Monday afternoon. A Louisiana native with previous experience as a Grambling assistant, Joseph also has coached at top end Power 5 programs that include LSU, Nebraska. Joseph was an offensive assistant coach on LSU's 2019 college football playoff championship team. Most recently, as you just discussed, he served as the Cornhuskers interim head coach during the 2022 season after Frost was hired. It says Joseph had a standout playing career at Nebraska, where his work there helped him to a CFL stint with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Um, Grambling parted ways with Hugh Jackson after the conclusion of the 2023 season, the second at the helm for the former NFL head coach. He exited from Nebraska and just sat for the 2023 season. So, one thing that I wanted to say, because I remember we were having a discussion, and I remember they were talking about, oh, we need a celebrity hired because there needs to be a celebrity hired because Gremlin has lost its luster as a football program to which people should come to, and a celebrity hire will bring us the recruits that we need. So I think for me, the thing that I like most about Mickey Joseph is that Gremlin stood to their roots. And when I say roots, I mean they're not focused on the celebrity, they're focused on actual football.
Right.
So
Uh, my whole thing about it is you can make the hire, you can make a hire without it being so much of a big old splash, you know, um, just to be simple. Like to me, I just think the Hugh Jackson hire wasn't it was a splash, but it wasn't like the big splash that you would want to, that we saw when we seen Prime get the job, right? Uh, the hiring of, like, even with the hiring of Eddie George, that, I mean, it was a splash in the Nashville area, but and in HBCU rounds, but it wasn't as much of a big splash because it's just the fact of the person that that Eddie George is. And my whole thing with Mickey Joseph is like you're getting a guy that's pretty much, it's like I said, he's established. The man been coaching since 1995. He been coaching since I was a junior in high school. So uh and pretty much he knows what he's doing, and he has the experience as far as having the head coaching experience with his two stops at Langston and at Nebraska as being head coach. Even though like I said, even though the Nebraska job was an interim job, he did step up to the plate to take over the program where at the time it was struggling. So you kind of um, you kind of feel bad for him because he kind of did get a bad break, because I really, in a sense, I really wanted him at the time to get the Nebraska job because of what, like literally what he done with that job, with that team, and how Scott Frost just kind of like pretty much obliterated that team. But of course, the those domestic violence charges came into play, and glad that it did not stick, and they were eventually dropped. But him sitting out a whole year and not coaching football, it kind of, I bet it kind of was made him anxious to get back into.
this is one of those things where an HBCU is able to capitalize, kind of like when Hugh Jackson was trying to hire Art Briles and Art took the job,
Hmm.
knowing that if Art never had that situation happen, 9 times out of 10 he would not have taken that position at Grambling. But that's one of those situations where Grambling and Coach Mickey Joseph are going to be able to benefit off of um, this hire.
Right.
So he'll be restoring his credibility and showing um, how good of a coach he is and how good of a recruiter he is. And then Grambling will be returning, um, historically a storied football program. What better way to bring it back to relevance but by this particular hire?
Right. And like you said, it
Staying
all
away
depends.
from the Ed Reed theatrics.
We don't need that. We don't need that. Now, I like I said with every, and I'm gonna put it just out. I'm gonna put it out here just like this. With every, he give him a position coach. Give him a position coaching. Like let him coach special teams. Let him coach the DBs. Let him coach safeties. You know what I'm saying? Give him a
Let
position.
him work his way up like
Let
everybody
him work
else
his
that
way
did.
up like everybody else. Like with Dion, I mean, it was a splash, but Dion, in a sense, he worked himself up. I can't.
Did you
You
say
know,
he worked himself up?
I mean, in
You talking
high,
about the Colorado?
I mean, and I'm talking about when he first got hired at Jackson. Like he was offensive coordinator, but he really like I said, he was really the de facto head coach at Trinity Christian. But like I said, my thing is he worked his way up. I cannot say that he
I
did
don't
not
know.
do
I
that.
think he skipped a couple steps.
I don't think he skipped a couple of steps. I mean, I mean, to me, we took a chance on him. That's all I gotta say. And I mean, like Grambling, they took a chance on Hugh Jackson. You know, with Tennessee State, they took a chance on Eddie George. What's the difference between all three of those schools? The only person that's still at the same school that hired him is Eddie George. Hugh Jackson got let go, and Dion is in Antarctica, America. Uh, but yeah, like to me, you gotta pay your dues. You gotta work your way up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and don't get me wrong. Yes, you did. He did do some stuff in the NFL as far as being like an assistant position.
Do you
DB
think that
coaches.
this means that some of those players are going to return? So, 4 star,
If
because Hugh Jackson was able to recruit out of high school a 4 star. I want to say he's a 4 star running back.
if he can talk to some of the players and get them back into the fold, that would be good. But it's always for those that the ones that I know that's not gonna come back, the ones that are gonna stay in the portal because they was loyal to Hugh Jackson, they ain't coming back.
Why would you say that? What the is it the Clark is his last that running back?
Floyd Chalk, he was loyal.
Chop.
Yeah, Chalk, he's from California, and Hugh Jackson had the California connection. He had the pipeline.
I mean, I don't know if that means that Chalk
He ain't.
shouldn't return. I feel like Chalk should definitely, if
I
Mickey
think he
Joseph
should.
is a
I
coach,
think
you should definitely reevaluate what you're doing because
I think he could return. He should return, but like I said, Chalk looked at Hugh Jackson as a actual, what I'm saying, an actual father, and so he only came to where he didn't have too many offers when he came out of high school in at Bishop Alamany, but he he really loved playing for Hugh Jackson. And when the word got out, I'm like, you know what? He gonna be in that portal. He's
mm,
he when the word got out, Hugh Jackson got let go. I was like, no, he gonna be in that portal, and
I would
he's
have only hit the portal like if you was announced. You know what? I'm not a football player and I don't know how. I know that the transfer portal can be brutal at times, but I also know that sometimes you just have to peace be still for a little bit. Just be still for a little bit because you don't necessarily know um what's going to happen. So when I say peace be still, what I mean is um you don't just want to, like, say for instance, Hugh is looking for another job and he gets a job somewhere else. Okay, then you would know, like, okay, I know for a fact if I want to go play for Hugh, I can go there. I can, you know. But Mickey, I think sometimes, like, yes, some student athletes are wowed by celebrity coaches. Yes, they are. But we have to also understand that a lot of these players know about his, like a Mickey Joseph. They know about some of these position coaches. Um, like for instance, the offensive coordinator in Colorado. Like if you're a young man and you're in the college football realm and you know about your position, like these young men know about Power Five coaches and the influence that they have, the backgrounds that they have. So sometimes these young men realize that maybe, yes, playing for a Prime or Ed Reed, that is exciting, but also playing for a proven coach, a coach that's been in the Power Five circuit, a coach that can recruit for the rest of the team. That is also weighs just as much, if not more, than just being a celebrity coach that's never actually coached a team. So I think that Chalk would be. I think after that hire, Monday, if they announce it on Monday, I feel like that would be one of the returning players.
We shall see. I'm not. And I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that he's not going to come. I'm not saying that he's going to stay in and he's not going to come back. But it's one of those. Wait, let's see what happens. With let's see what go. What happens. Who he brings in. Who he has on his staff. Do you retain? Do you retain John Simon? Um, that's another thing we can look at. Do you retain John Simon as in any sort of capacity um, on the team? Because if it was me, like seriously, me, I'm bringing that. I'm bringing my own people in.
I mean, I feel like for Grambling, because it's Mickey Joseph, because we know his Power Five prowess, I feel like you have to do John Simon, similar to what you did for Coach TC and Coach O, which is Jackson State. When they did the deal with Coach Prime, they made it so that Coach TC and Coach O still had, positions within the football unit. So similar to that, especially for longevity purposes. Let's say Mickey Joseph is trying to restore his credibility, and his thoughts are, of course, I want to go back to the Power Five. That's fine. So what do you give him? 2 or 3 years? You would want for a coach like John Simon to still be on that staff because for continuity purposes, and then boom, you already know that that's who you want to be um, your next head coach. And then you have the continuity there. The players already know. Um, they already know. So you just go ahead and kind of just hand over the rings. Um, so I'm going to also play this right here because I feel like this is important to share, which is Grambling uh, posted on their actual website that there is a press conference.
Yeah,
Um,
tomorrow at 10 o'clock.
so they did that on their official website. So if we, just in case anybody wants to say that we should wait for an official announcement, the official announcement that there's going to be a head coach announced is directly found on the Grambling State website. And I'm going to go ahead and pull that up and read that. Um, Grambling State to introduce new head football coach on Monday. The press conference is at 10 a.m. Stadium support facility at Eddie G. Robinson Stadium. They actually released this information this morning. Grambling State Vice President and Director of Intercollegiate Athletics, Dr. Travion Scott, has scheduled a press conference for Monday, December 18th, to introduce the new head coach of the GSU football program. The press conference is scheduled for 10 a.m. and will be located inside the press room in the stadium support facility located at Eddie G. Robinson Memorial Stadium. The event will be streamed on HBCU Plus. So, you guys can make sure that you are tuned in to HBCU Plus.
Yeah, I'm gonna go live with that one tomorrow morning too.
I'll be at my grandpa's funeral. um, so I mean, for me, that means that we only have one program that's kind of lying in wait, and that's Texas Southern. I haven't really heard anything else between Alcorn and Texas Southern.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything too much.
It
Anything.
kind of just got like dark quiet about that situation. Like they were discussing it, and then all of a sudden everything disappeared.
Yeah, I'm. Excuse me, y'all. I'm still trying to wake up. Um, I still don't know what the deal is, what the hold up is.
I mean, I felt like it was a power play, like a
Yeah,
push.
it was a power play. It was
I
a push.
felt like it was Coach McNair wanting what he wanted, and he used the Texas Southern job as leverage.
Yeah.
And you know what? Similar, okay. Sam Smith points out that there's a lot of talent already on the team. Mickey Joseph is that guy that can put it all together and add pieces. So it's similar to like the Panthers team with Matt Rule. So there were some really good players on that team. Christian McCaffrey has been going off ever since he went to the 49ers. Robbie, I think he went to, didn't he go to the Dolphins?
Robbie who?
Robbie that was on the Panthers.
Oh, Robbie Anderson.
Isn't he on? I think he's doing well in at the Dolphins.
Let me see.
I want to say he's been playing well. For me, it was just like you had a lot of talent on that Panthers team, and you couldn't. Obviously, I don't know where the breakdown was, but when Steve Wilkes took over, he was winning with less than pieces that he had than when Matt Rule was running things. And I really, felt like the Panthers organization dogged Cam Newton by bringing him in mid-season and thinking that you were going to put him in the box in the red zone, and folks weren't going to know that you were going to run the ball. But anyway, basically, he had a lot of the key pieces needed to make a decent team. He just couldn't put it together. So LJ says that do you think recruiting will be a factor? I think that Coach Hugh, he recruited a pretty young team.
He did.
That's why, okay, you guys are hiring Mickey Joseph. Congratulations to Coach Joseph. But when you hire a young team and you are building a program, that's why you have to give them a little bit extra more time. But we will see. What do you think about Miles Crawley?
Miles Crawley. I don't know if he
Do you
got
think
another
that Mickey
season.
will try to bring in a different quarterback, or?
I think Miles was this was his last year.
I thought he
If
had
I
another year.
um let me hey it
Could've
blue
I could've
if you on here
sworn he had
blue
another year.
um does Miles Crawley have another year?
He was only a sophomore last year. Okay, so
Okay, so you got
he played in 2021. He played in 2022. He played in 2023. He should have 2 more years.
okay, yeah, so yeah, he does have another year. I forgot because he was on
Yeah,
the search
he should
committee.
have another year, and he should have a red shirt. He really should have 2 more, or not red shirt. I'm sorry. He should have a COVID year.
COVID year.
Yeah, that's what I thought. He has 2 more years. So he has his regular year and then he has a COVID year. Okay, Miles. Miles Crawley was a part of the head coach search committee. So I really wish we could get Mr. Ford on here. Because I know that he would definitely have something to say about this hire. He was actually speaking up. Um, he was
Hmm.
actually speaking up, Mickey Joseph. I wonder, did he already know what was going to happen?
I don't know. I don't know. Um
Because he just said that literally the last live. He was like, okay. So just in jest, but I did want to point this out because it was funny. But I'm sure that we will see a revitalization of the program, and these young gentlemen will be singing their song with pride.
Grambling, dear Grambling, we love you, dear. Oh, Grambling, we're loyal to thee. Our dear school will fight for thee forevermore. And when the game is scored and won, the victory ring with victory song. Oh, Grambling, dear Grambling, we love thee, dear. Oh, Grambling.
So
you crazy. I'm done with you. You crazy. Ah,
you gonna have to say, if you want to be on this new Gremlin team, you better say it with your chest, okay? We not doing none of that. We not doing none of that. You better say it with your
Add
chest.
with your
You know
chest.
what? You know what? As a part of making the team, you have to sing "Old Gremlin, dear Gremlin, we love thee, dear old Gremlin." Like, you have to say it with your chest, or else you're not making the team. You're not making the team if you are not able
You
to.
trying to say you trying to say you
You
trying to say they oh Lord, what's the
because how? Listen,
Joe Clark Joe Clark from Lean on Me. Yo,
yep.
no school song.
You gotta know every word. You gotta know every. You think that you getting ready to put on the G? No, and I'm playing, but I'm actually dead ass serious. Like, we have, I forgot what it's called. What is it called? University success. What do we have to take at Jackson State? Where you just literally learn all about Jackson State history
I didn't have to take when I was at school at the
because you was a
time.
transfer.
I came in as a freshman in 1997. We did take that.
Oh, okay. So I need to know what that class was that I took.
I think it is university success.
So basically, we learn all about that, and we also learn the "I love," and we have to say it with our chest. Like, you will fail the class if you don't know the history. So let me go ahead and play it just in case you see some recruits if you a recruit or you thinking about coming to Grambling State, you know what? Go ahead and pull up the words. Just go ahead and pull the words up, and you might as well go ahead and learn it, because it's very important that you say it with your chest.
Grambling, dear Grambling, we love you, dear. Oh, Grambling, we're loyal to thee. Our dear school will fight for thee forevermore. And when the game is scored and won, the victory ring with victory song. Oh, Grambling, dear Grambling, we love you, dear. Oh, Grambling. That's it.
Yeah, somebody praying for the team. Somebody pray.
Okay, but at least they
One
was
pray.
at least they were praying. At least they were praying. But one of my Twitter friends, Dre, pointed out, and I
Oh
why
Lord.
do she got on a helmet? See, she is about that life. Now, these kids that they was recording, they were lackluster. But, and you know what? I am not teasing the kids, because sometimes folks will put you on camera and they ain't even tell you that we getting ready to post it. So do you know the I Love Doc?
Yeah.
Go ahead and sing it for us.
Girl, please, you ain't trying to put me on the spot. You is not trying to put me on the spot. I'm gonna sound just like them, singing just like that.
Why? Yes, thank you, University. Like, why would you do that? Do you know it for real, Doc?
No, for real.
I'm not gonna believe that you are true blue if you can't sing it.
You see the look on my face?
What?
Do you see the look on my face?
So just sing the first part. Jackson Fair, Jackson Deer.
Y'all, you trying to put me on the spot. I got a reputation. I got a reputation in these streets, baby.
You don't want
nobody put me on the spot.
You don't want nobody to clip it.
They ain't trying not to clip me like that. Don't clip me like that.
Well, all right. So because you don't want to sing it, like
I'm gonna say look. I'm not a singer. I'm not a rapper. I'm not an actor. I'm just a YouTuber.
Okay, well, can you at least do the hail to thee part so I can do it? You know,
Jackson Fair, Jackson
Deer,
the I love my dear college home. The I love wherever my name roam. Jackson Fair, Jackson Deer. Hail to thee.
Yes, hail to thee.
Yes, hail to thee.
Yes, hail to thee.
Hail to the college of my heart. Oh,
yes.
Lord.
See, you got to say it with your chest. You got to say
Don't say I ain't Google no lyrics, bro. Come on now. Ain't no Google lyrics. Let's see. So Friday, I missed a lot of recruiting. Of course, I've seen part of it where Ethan got half his whole offensive line to Jackson.
We got our Louis from Louisville High School. They bring in an O-line and it's Louis.
Where Coach Taylor needs to go, where he needs to go down to DeSoto. They just won state last night, 6A Division II last night. They beat the brakes off of Summer Creek yesterday, 74-14.
Who did that?
DeSoto High School. I'm not making this up. I'm not making this up. They beat the brakes off of Humble Stomach Creek 74-14. They broke the state
rule.
They broke the state record for points on a block punt, hook and ladder touchdown play on a return.
And what's the school again?
DeSoto. DeSoto, the school that brought you players like Von Miller and Jalen Mills.
Is Mickey Joseph heavy in Texas?
If you go to Grambling, if you coaching at Grambling, and Mr. Ford gonna tell you this, you got to be heavy in Texas. You got to be two places you got to be heavy in. Louisiana, of course, and you got to be heavy in Texas. You have to be. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You are like literally from exit 81 all the way to Dallas is nothing but pretty much like a about 3.5, 4 hour drive. Like seriously. And then once you come into Texas, you still gotta go. You still go through East Texas, so you still can recruit there. I mean, you got to be able to recruit the state. I mean, he's gonna recruit Louisiana, of course,
for sure. But that's one of the things that, and I'm not teasing. I've been less petty these last couple of days. Only a little bit of petty, okay?
Less petty.
I haven't been as petty as I usually are. I'm not. We just sung our song. How am I gonna over there teasing the Grambling song and us not sing it? So I balanced it out. We sang our song. But I remember when folks was like, Dooley's can recruit Louisiana. Dooley can recruit Louisiana. I don't know. I'll say this: our football coaches have been just running up the scoreboard in recruiting.
I'm just saying, go get some players from that squad right there. They sing is
Coach. I'm talking about Texas, Cali. Like they've been hitting. Let me see.
Coach Wade got a player from that same squad.
You talking about Valley?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see how they undercut? They undercut. So Valley had that 3-star, right? I don't know who undercut, but he ended up
decommitting.
Portland. He ended up committing to Portland. I think he said that he wanted to be closer to home, which you know what? That's understandable for recruits. To want to be close to home. Leaving from home is not for the weak, especially when you go clear across the country.
It's true.
But what I will say is, I'm going to pull up one of the recruits posted his visit, like just little snippets of his visit. And I was like, okay, Jackson State, you better do it. They had a nice, I don't want to say it's a Mercedes-Benz van, but those Sprinters.
Mm-hmm.
Had him in a nice Sprinter, and then he was staying at the same hotel that they usually stay at for during the season.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know which one I'm talking about?
I
want to say it's the one in Flowood, maybe.
Probably so.
But he had a really nice visit, and then of course we got the 4-star Kobe Boykin saying that he wanted to make a difference and he wanted to come in. I was just like, Lord. And is he do you know if he's from Cali?
He's from LA. He's from Thomas Edison High School in Los Angeles.
So that's Cali right there, ain't it?
Mm-hmm. That's Southern California.
But I did want to highlight, because this is good that this happened. In spite of losing the Hugh as the head coach, um, Sundiata Anderson did get an invite to the East West Shrine Bowl.
That's good. I mean, well, he was gonna come out. He was gonna get that invite off his measurables. I mean, 6'5", 6'6", 245, 250. You know what I'm saying? To me, he just got to get. He got to work on getting a bend, a lean as far as coming out the edge. Or he probably can play. They probably could have him bulk up a little bit more and probably play outside linebacker, depending on what type of defensive scheme that he goes to. If he gets picked up by an NFL team.
I'll never forget that when Blue had the preseason, he was on live talking about Sundiata Anderson and how scary how huge he was, like he was a giant.
And then we saw him at media day, and you were like, "This dude, like,
he
what
was
you tell, like what you tell me? We was even, okay." So this the funny part, y'all.
I didn't even ask if we could interview him, because he was a giant.
Yeah, like we would look at. So we was eating. We got to the hotel, and you and Zoe was at the front, and so we went in and set my stuff up. We came back out. You went over to. You had to go to FedEx to get your banners and stuff. You came back. We was eating breakfast, and you saw. I mean, of course, I spoke up and talked to Coach Jackson at the time, so he could get him over to the table when whenever they got a chance to interview with independent media, and then you were like, who is it? He's like, that's Sundiata Anderson. And you was like, oh Lord.
Yeah.
You still You're like, oh Lord, I did not know he was that big. I was like, Blue
said it. But Blue is so on Grambling. See, the way Blue was talking, I was like, that Grambling defense is going to be a fool this year, and I'm glad that Jackson State's not playing Grambling. I mean, that's literally how I was thinking that Hugh Jackson had developed that defense. I was like, oh no, we don't want to play them.
Mm-hmm.
But congratulations, because he is going to the East West Shrine Bowl. As we know, the East West Shrine Bowl, isn't that the same bowl that Isaiah Bolden played in?
Mm-hmm. I mean, he played in a couple of bowl games, in a couple of All-Star games.
Well, we're talking about like the one where he got drafted out of, or they said that they saw them, was the East West Shrine Bowl. It's where
I mean, well, he got looked at the NFLPA Bowl out in California. Of course,
maybe.
Yeah, remember, and then the East West Shrine Bowl. That wasn't Isaiah. That was Dallas.
Dallas Daniels. Okay, so I want to say there's there's NFLPA, and then there's East West Shrine Bowl, and then there's the Senior Reese Bowl. Those are the three biggest ones, right?
Mm-hmm. Then you have the Hula Bowl,
and then you have the HBCU
Legacy Bowl, which he'll be. I think he'll participate in that also too. That's in February. So you got a lot of stuff going on, and it's good that you get have that coming up. Have that coming up, and you can get out there and train and get your body right. Just like on Friday when we talked to DJ. Mm-hmm. With DJ, like getting his body right, getting ready for all these All-Star bowl games, and trying to get his mind right in his, and body correct for, trying to get into the NFL draft. And, if you got a mindset like that, kind of just grind it out, keep your head down, grind it out, and keep your blinders on, then you will make it in this world. And we need people like that. We need young people like that in this world. It doesn't matter if you football, basketball, baseball, or even in the corporate world. You need to have that type of motivation, that grind to get it going. to get yourself where you need to go. And just in case you don't get yourself in that position to go to a actual league, at least you got something to fall back on as far as your degree. Just with just talking to DJ, having that master's in sports science, that's going to help him immensely, and especially if he, like he said, he wants to get into coaching. If he gets into coaching, hey, that's good for him. If make sure and we always got to tell these kids, make sure that you have a fallback plan. Make sure that you have a backup plan just in case either A, you don't get into the leagues that you want to get in, or B, there is an injury that you might not be able to recover from. Because at the end of the day, your health is wealth.
Mm-hmm.
And also, we need young black men and women in these professional fields too. It doesn't matter, like I said, coaching, teaching, corporate world, whatever. You know what I'm saying? We
Right.
need young black people in these professional ranks because the way of the world is going right now, it is going young by the second. I'm just putting it out there. I guess that's my rant for today.
So congratulations to DJ Stevens and Sandiata Anderson. Before we move forward, because I wanted to give a couple of responses to a couple of situations, I'm gonna go ahead and play this commercial for the t-shirts online, and I'm giving away a shirt. Basically, you just have to go to their Instagram and comment under the first picture on their profile, and I will be giving one of those t-shirts away next week during the National Signing Day. So I'm going to post the comments, or excuse me, the directions in the chat. The t-shirts.online. I will be doing that free giveaway. And of course, their Instagram, you can find them at the shirts online. And I'll show you guys what it looks like so that you'll know. So I also wanted to get your opinion, which we'll talk about the band, because we had a really big show the other day about the band. And then for some reason, somebody got chosen and somebody didn't.
Don't get me started.
Oh, Lord. Oh,
Hold on.
so
Hold on.
These
Don't get
Shirts
me.
Online. She Loves the podcast is teaming up with These Shirts Online to give away a free t-shirt. This is their Instagram. So go to These Shirts Online and you scroll to the first picture of the white sweater where it says shop hoodies now, and comment hashtag the I love and tag me She Loves Thee. Thank you, Mr. Haran and Hezi, for following those directions. So we're just looking for roughly 10 to 15 more people to comment, and we will be giving that away next week. And now, Mr. Walker, we do have to talk about it.
Yeah, let me put something up.
Okay.
This is joint. This is a joint live. So
absolutely.
Appreciate it. So go ahead, if you haven't done it by now, make sure you go to shopmerchsports.com. This is the Black College Football fan club collection that he has out right now, and we are still working on a discount code to where if you put in the discount code, we'll try to get you 10% off on all your things at checkout. But make sure that you go to shopmerchsports.com. Merch Sports, merch for the sports enthusiasts.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so this is, I have a couple of things that I want to share, which of course is the response to yesterday. Of course, it was announced that North Carolina A&T is the band of the year.
Here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care. I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
Yeah, so that's the response for the Sonic Boom of the South is the band of the year, and we don't need ESPN to tell us otherwise. Congratulations to the North Carolina A&T Aggie Pride for taking home that first place prize. And then yesterday, of course, Howard lost to FAMU.
Oh my God! Let me just say this.
$10,000 a month. What more do you want from me?
Let me just say this about that game yesterday. It was the Bougie Bowl times 10 yesterday. I'm just putting it out there. Of course, Vice President Kamala Harris came through and she was in the booth, and she hanging out with her Howard grads, Lance Gross, and all the other prominent Howard alums showing up to the game. And then of course you got FAMU, got their prominent alumni coming into the, going to the game and stuff like that. Some of the things that I did not like was getting into the stadium right before, when kickoff starts, it was still a sparse crowd. Hey, we got to do better than that, y'all. Howard, FAMU, y'all got to do better than that if you're gonna get back to the bowl again for next season. Also, some other things that I kind of didn't like as far as with the gameplay goes. The quarterback for Howard, oh my God. I literally looking at I was literally looking at the game on my phone when I was checking on my laptop, and I'm like, if y'all don't get him a pocket to where he can step up in the pocket and throw instead of roll it out and try to run for his damn life, please do something with that. Second of all, the left tackle for Howard, Aneem Donkwa, I mean, he's massive. He's 6'8", 360. My God, I know a lot of NFL teams are looking at you because of your size and your potential, but you got to lose some weight. And I'm not being harsh, and I'm not being judgmental. You got to lose some weight. You got to get down to at least 325, 330. I understand you're getting that done now. You're going to be playing in some couple of All-Star games now, and got to work on the footwork. But you was getting beat. You were getting beat to sleep by Anthony Dunn yesterday, coming off the edge. He was beating you like dang on like a Grambling bass drum. That's how he would beat you. I ain't talking about the one that you put on your body. We talking about the one that you got to pull, the big one.
Dang.
So some other things that I didn't like, that Howard should have done more was utilize their run game more effectively. When you got a son of a Hall of Famer on your team in Eden James, and you only give him the ball like maybe 15 times, and he only has like 50, 60 yards of rushing, you did that young man a disservice. Give that man the ball 20, 25 times. Let him run up and down the field. The good thing about him was he was able to bounce outside to kind of leverage the FAMU's pursuit from sideline to sideline. But my goodness, give the ball to that man some more. You didn't utilize your triple threat in Casey Hawthorne yesterday. That was killing me. I'm like, he's literally your best athlete on the field, and it just yeah, I was just flabbergasted. Now on the side of FAMU, of course, I always say this: it's always the slow start for me. It was a slow start. Now you don't let Howard jump on your ass. Pause. Go up 14-7. Then they get the safety. They get the safety, so they have 16-7. You jump in, you score the field goal, and then in the second half, it's like, okay, it's time to turn it on. You scored 20, what was the score? 34-26. Scored 20.
Don't get me to lying about the score. I was driving.
Oh, that's right. You was driving. Shoot. Hold on. Y'all excuse me, because the game had me frustrated at certain points yesterday. 30, it was 30-26.
What is the Rattlers spitter? What is that about?
Oh yeah. Let me talk about that.
Wait. Okay, so the score was 30-26. The score was
30-26.
But Mr. Walker says that the O-line young man should not be allowed to play football next year for FAMU, the Rattler spitter. I was driving, and so
I watched that.
from North Carolina to Lexington, Kentucky. So I was going through Virginia, West Virginia. I was not able to see any of that. So what happened?
So the guy, I think the old lineman, he was getting, oh my God, he was getting beat to sleep on this one drive. And basically they got into a scuffle. He spat in the face of one of the defensive linemen, and of course the referee saw it, the umpire, and kicked him out the game. But the turn of the game was when Isaiah Major dropped down and got the interception in their own territory late in the game, and then turn around. Kendall Bowler got the last interception. Quentin Williams was so ineffective yesterday. It was god awful to watch that play calling. And I had to call, in the main people I had to call out for the play calling yesterday was the OC and the head coach. The reason why I put the head coach in there is because you sign off on it. The OC, you the one that's calling the plays. You didn't utilize the run game. You put Quentin Williams in situations where he really didn't need to be in yesterday, and you turned him more into a passer, and then instead of him being somewhat, just a game manager, just to manage the game. That's all you needed for him to do. Manage the game. That's it. But we all saw what happened. FAMU, like I said, Musa did what he did. throwing 3 touchdowns, but he also had 2 interceptions. One of them was I forgot which one was on the fault of the receiver, but they didn't. I mean, they ran the ball. I mean, decent yesterday. Terrell Jennings had 68 yards on 19 carries, so he was the workhorse yesterday. And Kamari Young was, I wouldn't say he was a surprise, but he was utilized more in this game than what he been done for the whole season. So for him to, especially with the 44-yard reception, to put them into the red zone and score position, that was a big play right there. But I think what FAMU did and what Willie Simmons did yesterday as far as the coaching, I mean, it was good enough for them to win the game. And hey, they black college national champs. I cannot take that away from them. So now that gives the SWAC 2 wins in the MEAC. I mean, in the Celebration Bowl, compared to the 6 that the MEAC has already has. And of course, 4 of those are coming from a school that is no longer in the conference. But other than that, Musa is out of eligibility. He is done for the year. He is done for at FAMU. They did pick up I know this morning they did pick up a tight end out of the transfer portal from Clemson. He's originally from Tallahassee, so he's coming home. So they did pick him up, 3-star out of Clemson, out of the portal. So he is going to FAMU. The thing is, who's going to be the quarterback for next season? It's some things that we all got to see what's going to happen when when you break down, do season reviews and stuff like that. And that's something that I'm pretty much going to do this year. I mean, for January, I'll probably take a little break after Christmas. So,
I have a question. So now that's over with, as far as the recruiting is now the main focus, what is going on with Jackson State?
Okay. Sooner or later, we gotta stop.
What is going on?
hey, I don't know what's going on with TC, but my man been putting his head down, going to work. Like you said,
We ain't heard nothing, but they ain't doing nothing but dropping that committed.
Got it. Okay. Sooner or later, we gotta stop.
Sooner or later. So, congratulations to those rattlers. But did you know that rattlers, like the actual rattlesnakes, did you know that they do spit like that? And like that's what rattlers do. They spit venom.
Yeah, I knew that.
I don't know. I don't know the situation about the quarterback, but I think somebody was saying that there was like at least 2 instances where Howard could have won that game.
Oh yeah, they could have won that game easily, especially when they
I'm
went
talking
up.
about like in the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, in the 4th quarter. So they go up 26. They go up. They scored a touchdown. So instead of you going for 1, you go for 2. You turn it into a 3-point game. You turn it into a 3-point game, and now instead of they went for the extra point. It went to a 2-point game, and so pretty much all FAMU had to do was just if they wanted to kill the clock, drive down the field, kill the clock, and they could hit a field goal because they got one of the best kickers in the conference. And they could have won the game just like that.
Did you see where I posted that Duke committed to Alabama A&M?
Oh my God! Why?
You didn't see that?
Why?
He wants to for the Power Fives to come get him. No, I'm just kidding.
What?
That's what their coach told him. No, I'm just kidding.
What's going on? Hold on. What's going on, Coach Hagan?
Did you see what Doyle said?
What did Doyle say?
They already talking mess. See, he said, I got $1,000. You don't score versus JSU next year. Why is they already talking mess? Already talking mess.
Hey, it's the competitiveness, but then too, Doyle is. I think Doyle is loyal to Jackson State. He loves it.
Duke said bet.
Duke said, "Put your money where your mouth is."
Well, all I'm gonna say is, I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm gonna let the players do the talking. But a wide receiver from Texas Southern that used to be on Jackson State's team was talking mess last year or this past season, and we see how that went. So it's a bet. That's gonna be a hyped game. Then I like it when the players, if they do decide to transfer to another school in the SWAC, how they keep that little fun rivalry going. We had to have snakes on a plane. Mr. Campbell, can you please tell us why y'all was over there trying to spit venom into other young men's eyes on the field?
You know what's so funny though? See,
Mr. Campbell.
Hey, you know what's so funny to you? That both of our sponsors are FAMU Rattlers.
Oh.
Hey, Merch Pack is a FAMU Rattler, but it's good. It's all good though.
Oh, listen, Maynard knows how to recruit, and I would say Maynard's. Well, Quincy Casey did decent this year. He just had some self-inflicted wounds, but I think maybe they needed to develop. See, what I need for Maynard in order for him to be successful is when he catches some good fish, he got to keep them reeled in. Can't be having your best players leaving after a year or two. You're not able to build a powerhouse like that. Anything else? I wonder tell Mr. Campbell to come up here because them folks must have been in my mentioning me yesterday, and Wit got on them. I don't see no snakes on the plane now, but they won. They claim that they're saving the SWAC. I can't find it, but I need the congratulations sign. The congratulations from Tyrese. Oh, I found it. No, I didn't find it. I need to find that meme where he said congratulations, because that's how FAMU thinks that everybody in the SWAC is, especially Jackson State. And in reality, what do you feel about the dominance of FAMU this season with the exit of Deion Sanders, that Coach Willie Simmons was able to go undefeated in the SWAC?
So what FAMU has done this season, I mean, I'm not gonna get on what the young man said that what he said on Twitter that this was the best team and the swag to go all the way. Because he's young, and I'm not gonna flambe him like that. But you got to go back to, like I said, go back to the 70s, go back to the 80s about with the Grambling teams, with Jackson State in the 80s, with Alcorn coming in play, with Valley in 84. You got the Southern teams of the 90s. To me, when it comes down to it, they're probably like one of the top. Let's say if we had to put a top 25 team, all SWAC teams together, all time SWAC teams together, that'd probably be like number 15, like 14, 15. And that's not throwing shade. They just saying.
Wait, are you talking about in the new era? I think if you're gonna do that, you got to break it up into like what 2010 and on.
Right. What I'm saying is,
you're not talking about the 80s and 90s, are you?
But I'm just talking about, but you still got to include those in there too. But I'm just saying like the 80s and 90s. So like, let's just say the 80s and 90s. That's why I start. That's why I start at, and then you break it down. What I'm saying is like, because I'm not gonna be able to forget those teams like that pretty, purely dominated a whole decade. like W.C. Gordon dominating the 80s like that, 8 out of 10 SWAC titles. That's a whole decade that you dominated a whole conference, plus a 28-game winning streak in the conference. Nobody was not going to match that. I don't even think if we would have had the team like we had last season, I wouldn't even think that we was going to match that. 28 game conference winning streak. Nah, that record is still going to be held by us. So y'all, it's all good.
Oh, you're saying that FAMU is not going to be able to repeat next year?
I'm not saying that they're not going to be able to repeat, because Willie Simmons and Coach Rich Press, who's the recruiting coordinator, they can recruit their ass off. I cannot sit here and say they don't know how to recruit, because they can recruit. The thing is that can you repeat that same magic this past season for next season? First, in the first thing they're gonna have to do is get the quarterback. Are you gonna go into the portal to get a quarterback? Are you gonna look within what you got on your roster for a quarterback, or are you gonna go through the high school ranks? And it's always gonna be some some decisions to make when it comes to that, because that is the catalyst. Now they do lose a lot. They do lose a couple of pieces on the defense, so they got to get the defense back to par. But as far as the offensive go, they're gonna lose pieces on both sides of the ball, and it's all about plug and play, next man up mentality. Who we gonna get to be in a position where they can get us back into the Celebration Bowl again. And then of course the scheduling. The scheduling helped them. I mean, we laughed about it, putting 2 D2 schools on the schedule, where one of the schools pretty much was in the FC in the D2 playoffs in West Florida, and then Lincoln, California is pretty much, I'm not gonna call them Lynchburg 2.0, but it's kind of iffy, and I'm trying to figure out what are they all about and stuff. But it's all about the scheduling. They didn't play Grambling this season. Who else they did not play?
They played a middle school team and a high school team.
Well, I already said those two right there, but they didn't play Grambling this season.
Well, I mean, what Mr. Campbell said in the summer when he said that
He did say that it was true.
the
That
goal is the goal. They coming to beat Jackson State's, excuse my French, ass, and they coming to win the Celebration Bowl, and that's how they gonna do it.
they didn't play Alcorn this season either.
Oh,
Yep, they didn't play Alcorn this season either. Uh, their toughest game in conference play was against Alabama State. It was against Alabama State. That was a battle. Even though the score was 23-10, it was still a battle because Alabama State, when putting in Demetrius Davis in the fourth quarter for a spell of four, it messed up the continuity of that team. Should have stayed with Damon Stewart as the quarterback at the time, but it was a lesson learned. And then after that game, really, and I'm talking about on the thing about Alabama State. After that game, Bama State went on the 5-game winning streak. So,
well, mm, 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 mm. Yeah, I guess the Rattlers were heckling me yesterday, but everybody should know I don't duck no type of smoke whatsoever. I was driving, but I don't duck smoke. Because apparently that game was really, really close and it went tit for tat, which means I would have been heckling them online the whole time
you probably would.
because it was close. So I would have been talking mad mess.
Oh, I had
Um,
my memes. I had my memes ready from the summer. Oh, I was ready for them, but I'm gonna be the bigger man, and I am the bigger man. and just let them have their little celebration. Let them have their little celebration because once July comes around again for media day, we're gonna be back up in the media day. We want to know. We want to know some questions, and we ain't gonna duck. And Willie ain't gonna duck us this time like he did last time.
you literally interviewed him a week later.
No, I interviewed him the day after when I came back home. It wasn't a week later. When I got out the road, when we left Birmingham, and I got out the road. I interviewed him as soon as I got in the house.
Breaking news. Are they? I don't. Out of Charlotte, North Carolina, the Panthers beat Atlanta. Do you know how bad you have to be to lose to the Panthers? And this is no shade to the Panthers because, but it is kind of shady, but not really. But do you know how bad you have to be to lose to the Panthers?
Bad. Oh snap! It's about to be 3:00.
Yeah. So I just wanted to come on here and talk about, of course, the Mickey hire. I'm so glad that that's taking place tomorrow. Unfortunately, due to me being at my grandfather's funeral,
I got you.
I will not. Are you gonna go live?
Yeah, I'll go live.
Okay.
I'm off tomorrow, so I'm good. So
Oh yeah. So
I'm
yeah,
trying to get all. I'm trying to get all the stuff, the tea and everything. And if you tune in tonight at 7, we're gonna have Miss Veronica, her nephew, on the show.
Ooh,
Zarius
congratulations! So
Zarius
recent
Bowie.
commit. Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Yep, from Mississippi Gulf Community College.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, we gotta stop.
Sooner or later, coach. Sooner or later.
Oh, that's her cousin. That's her cousin. I thought,
Oh,
hey,
her
he
cousin.
might well be your
Sooner or later,
nephew.
we gotta stop.
No, but that's her
Sooner or
cousin. So
later, we got like we've been getting the recruits. So tonight at you said 7.
I'm about to set up there now.
Okay. We still waiting on Texas Southern. Of course, early signing day is on Wednesday. And who else is in there? Oh, we need to say congratulations because it looked like Howard got beat all different types of ways yesterday because didn't the men's basketball team
They got beat on the East. They got beat on Eastern Standard Time, and they got beat on Mountain. They got beat
Eastern time?
On Pacific Coast Time. They got,
Ooh, wait, let me see. Where's it? They didn't even post the final score. Where's the final score at?
oh, it was 81-76 was
So
the
they
final.
had this up here, but they didn't. Okay, so they didn't post the final score, which of course, that's big.
Yeah.
Wait, so they're playing again tonight?
Yeah, they playing they're playing
North Carolina A&T.
A&T.
We need this win for the band, for the culture. So what time is 7:30? Is that like midnight again?
No. It's early. They don't play that
Okay,
late.
7:30 Central Time. So oh, okay. So what time is it where you at? 2:55? 3?
2:55.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm getting ready to get off of here so that I can I guess I'll lay back down again for an hour. And then get on the road to get from Lexington, Kentucky all the way to St. Louis. And yes, Miss
How long is that drive right there?
I want to say when I typed in my uncle's address, he's in Florissant, so Missouri. So it's like, I want to say 5 hours. So I'm in Lexington, Kentucky. So I will not be going live for the Chris Ball HBCU challenge because I wish I could go live, but no.
She wants you to go live with me. Miss Veronica wants you to go live.
Oh, Miss Veronica, I wish I could go live, but I'll be driving I'm in Kentucky right now, and I'll be traveling to St. Louis, so I'll miss it. Thank you so much. And so yes, but I will be. You know what, Miss Veronica, I'll definitely make sure that that I'm in the chat. I'll make sure to say something in the chat. Anything else you want to talk about that before we get up out of here?
Give us our respect on the bands. Give us our respect on the band. Y'all know we won that dang on thing on Friday night. Stop playing with our top. Don't stop playing with our name like that.
Everybody in America knows that we won. That
Stevie Wonder could have solved that we won the damn Battle of the Bands on Friday, and then A&T get up in the stands and want that. They try to give us that smoke in the stands.
We must have got the 30-point deduction. That's what it was. They gave us a deduction. Mr. Campbell's here. And so before Mr. Campbell speaks, all I want to say is apparently yesterday after FAMU won, this is what the conversation was about.
Jackson State this, Jackson State that. Jackson State this, Jackson State that.
So, Mr. Campbell, how you doing?
First of all, I want to tell you, all the rattlers send their prayers to you because we were in the suite with your lines, social media lines, and KJ was with us, and all the rattlers want to wish you the best and prayers to you. And they have said they have a standing invitation for you to make sure, and we're going to pay for you to come to the Celebration Bowl and hang with us next year when we defend our title. Because everybody asked about you. And you can ask KJ this. And I'm not lying, every one of them rattlers was like, where was you? Every one of them. So, and like I say, and KJ, and you saw the picture, Doc. I know you saw the picture with me and KJ.
Yeah, I've seen it.
So no, Simply Beautiful. I am not lying. Kimona is one of our favorite JSU Tigers because of her encouragement every week that allowed the Rattlers to get this victory. So we appreciate that. We needed that motivation because her picks were so outstanding. It made a dream season for the Rattlers. So we appreciate that.
Hey,
we do.
Hey, Mr. Campbell, all you gotta do is just put me back on the sideline. I'll just take pictures. I'll take video. I don't need to be in no suite. I don't need to be none of that. Just put me on the sideline. I need to be where the action is.
Listen, Doc, listen. We listen. We know folks, so we're already booking out. See, we're actually going to start from the A and finish in A. We're going to show how that works. We're going to actually do that. So everybody says that, but we're going to actually do that. So who's going to be in me at SWAC channel for the start? FAMU and Norfolk State. So Timon, you can come on down there too.
Ooh.
And start off with the you can start in A with the Rattlers and finish in A with the Rattlers.
So does the So listen, I didn't know this, but I looked it up. Did you know that rattlers like spit their venom out?
Certain rattlers, not all rattlers. Certain.
No, like we're talking about real snakes. Like
no, I know. I'm saying certain rattlers. No, certain. Yes, I did know that. Just like cobras. Yeah, I did know that. No, but not all rattlers do that. It's only some rattlers, not all.
So not all rattlers, just some on your O line do it.
Well, clearly. So we're listen.
I told you that was a stupid. I said that was a stupid play.
Listen. I'm not going to justify any foolishness. So, like I say, that you just can't do that. You got to you're playing a game and you got to show proper sportsmanship. So I'm not going to condone that. Nobody condones that.
Okay, well, so, no. Go ahead and get it out about the number one public HBCU.
Well, listen. All I want to say is, and listen, Doc said it. FAMU Rattlers are giving people. So we appreciate all those people from Jackson State who wished us well to take on the big. We really appreciate y'all because we knew y'all were rooting for us. We saw it on social media. We saw it every time that y'all were really rooting for the Rattlers. So we appreciate that. We thank those Tigers because we knew in y'all hearts y'all wanted us to win this for the SWAC. We understood it. So we appreciate it. So, of course, being the number one public HBCU, we only had to do what number one public HBCUs do: win the damn game. That's what we do.
I feel like you guys winning that kind of like, FAMU, the Rattlers, they went through a little hazing situation coming into the SWAC. They had a lot of mouth, so the past couple of years, y'all been getting belt to ass. And now that you have won the Celebration Bowl, I guess, I think that the consensus is you can come into the SWAC now.
But I got to wait a minute. But the only team that beat us was those Dion super team. And this is what I keep trying to tell y'all.
Why do you guys keep on saying Dion?
No, because wait a minute. Let me finish this. Jackson. What y'all fail to realize, we were never going to be online getting hazed or whatever. Because I kept trying to tell you, we knew Dion before y'all knew Dion. So that was never no thing to us. That was never no thing. So for us, it was to beat Jackson State. Like, what did I tell you? And y'all said, what did I tell you this summer? What our goal was? What did I tell you?
You said you done beat up on Southern so many times. You're not worried about Southern. You're not worried about nobody else in the SWAC. We are focused on whooping on Jackson State. And
exactly. And people thought I was joking. And that is respect. And that wait a minute, hold on. And that is respect to Jackson State. That is a respect thing. Because we don't respect nobody else. Because we knew we was going to whoop everybody else. Ooh. But we understood the challenge. And we understood the challenge when Dion first came. We understood that. Because we felt we could beat y'all. We didn't the first two times. We beat you again. And guess what? We coming to Jackson. And we're going to see what happens. But that's a respect thing. So if people say we want to beat you. Because you ain't never heard me say we worried about Southern. You ain't never heard me saying worried about Alabama A&M, Alabama State, none of them.
Well, you can't come over here squirting venom on our players.
No. Listen, see now we not listen. Again, that I'm gonna let y'all have that joke. and stuff like that. But I will say this: majority of the time, our players have shown excellent sportsmanship and things like that. I'm gonna tell you this: I didn't know what happened because I was in. See, the crazy thing about it, there is such a difference when you're there at the game compared to watching it on TV. So we didn't even know why until what you just said. I didn't even know why he got kicked out. Yeah, we didn't even know because we didn't have the game on. We were watching the game. All we know is like the guy got kicked out and everybody was like, what's going on? So if that's the case, then that is disappointing because that's not what you want to do to be a champion. So like I said, but again, kids make mistakes, and I'm sure that Willie's going to address, and I'm pretty sure the kid is sorry. So I'm not going to, like I say, make light of it.
Why was everybody like, you guys won? Congratulations to the FAMU Rattlers, the #1 public HBCU. But why? And I can pull it up as proof. Why was everybody worried about
Jackson State this?
No. See, I'm not gonna let y'all slide with that, cause y'all had a whole feed talking about y'all were buying Bison gear. Did you not?
What? We'll do what?
That Jackson State people were buying. I'm Team Bison. I'm rooting for the Bison. Then half of y'all don't even know what Howard was at. Didn't even care nothing about Howard until this game.
Why?
And then
no, because some of the stuff that y'all was saying, it didn't make sense. Like
no. What they said was we were showing y'all how to complete the task.
No,
we had
us.
The Tigers how to complete the task.
Mr. Campbell, this is the thing. When I do all that mess talking, like, because of course I do talk a lot of mess. I ain't even gonna stun on that one. But why would we be sick about FAMU winning? Like, why would we be sick? Jackson State is winless in Atlanta. We are not winless in Atlanta. We won the MEAC SWAC Challenge. And this is North Carolina Central talking out the side of their neck. I keep receipts, right?
Uh-oh.
And Mr. Campbell, y'all was rooting against us in the Celebration Bowl for the past 2 years. Maybe not you, but right, Mr. Campbell? Mr. Campbell. Did he hang up? I ain't hearing him.
Let me give a shout out to my good friend Miss Keisha Campbell, former AD of South Carolina State. How you doing, Miss?
Hello.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Mr. Campbell. Oh man, he got off there. He need to come back up here because I haven't even been on social media, but I was able to pick that up. It was Jackson State this, Jackson State that. I got more too. Y'all want to see them? Let's hopefully.
Brother McCarty wants to jump on.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, so listen, Mr. Campbell.
Now hold on, wait. I want something just Jerome. Hold on, Jerome Brooks. Ain't nobody real FAMU people ain't say. Listen, if you want to take one person because talking about some chilling bowl, listen, I'm FAMU people, and I've said it from day one because I'm from Jackson. I don't care nothing about no playoffs because I saw Jackson State get cheated in the playoffs for years, and I don't know how. I know I'm older than you, so I ain't no playoff fan. So I don't want to hear that. So now you ain't heard that from real FAMU people because we already won the championship. We did it. Nobody else has done it. We wanted to win the Celebration Bowl, so I want to correct that real quick. So now, that wasn't real FAMU people.
It's like literally Jackson State went viral yesterday for FAMU mentioning them.
Well, listen, that's because y'all have been mentioning us all year, talking about we were going to lose every week. I come in your show and listen, you and Doc come on, every week. No, not you. No, I'm talking about the experts. Jackson, FAMU ain't playing nobody. FAMU starting off slow. FAMU gonna slip up and lose. And I heard that every week.
Are you serious?
I'm guilty of that.
Now come on, Doc. Tell Doc. Now come on now.
I said, look, well, I'm looking at it from my eyes though. I'm looking at it from the eyes, like
the eye test. He was doing the eye test.
Yesterday.
Well, the eye test. What does the eye test say? We beating everybody by double digits.
No, it's not. Now, Mr. Campbell.
No.
Seriously, you double digits. You doing a little bit too much.
No, wait a minute. We did beat everybody by double digits in the SWAC. The only team that we didn't beat by double digits was Southern. We beat everybody else by double digits.
And then yesterday.
And then yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah. No. But listen. But okay. But here's the thing. What I tell you, I'll take 1 point. I'm gonna do a Ken Clark because I tried to make a bet with Ken because I said, "Hey Ken, let's make a bet." And you know what Ken told me? All I care about is Long Jack State win. So I'm gonna do the Ken Clark on y'all. All I care about is FAMU winning. So that's my answer to that. That's my answer to that.
I think pretty much everybody knew that whoever won between Jackson State and FAMU was going to take the title. This year, after the hiring of Mickey Joseph and the realignment, I don't know now. I'm not saying I don't know what FAMU graduating or leaving looks like. How much talent do you retain? I will say this: you guys were able to clinch the SWAC and the offensive player of the year compared to the level of quarterback play that we had to have in order for us to win the past 2 years. It wasn't on the same level. So why y'all trying to go get Andrew Body?
I'm saying it's the level of quarterback play this season for the conference as a whole was subpar.
But y'all had a first round pick playing quarterback the last 2 years that nobody has.
What I'm saying is that you was able to beat the SWAC with, and the quarterback play was not at the same level.
But the SWAC, but ain't been no quarterback play. FAMU's been in the league for 3 years. It ain't been no good quarterback play in the SWAC for the last 3 years.
So what I'm saying is, are you guys going to be able to? Do you think you'll be able to clinch the SWAC again next year with a quarterback that has not? I'm not going to call the quarterbacks mediocre. I'm just going to say not on the level of, or not upgraded to a level. Are you guys going to be able to retain that? Because there were times where you did get into a crunch and it got kind of close.
But you know what though? I'm going to give Musa his flowers.
Yeah.
Because I'm about to make a serious football point here. Because the one thing that kid has done is when he fails, he shakes it off. Right. He did it against Southern. He did it because when you throw a pick like he threw in that game should have been over. And that kid went right on the sideline, took that heat from Willie, and it came back and made 2 championship drive plays.
So he is what you call a game changer, not a game manager. What I'm
going to call him is a guy that clearly has a short-term memory. Because a lot of quarterbacks would have held that memory and have gotten to a funk and played bad. So I'm going to call him short-term memory. That's what I'm going to call him. Seriously.
Jerome, Miss Keisha, I'll answer in just a second. Jerome?
Hey, so happy Sunday, everybody. Number one, so FAMU won.
Thank you, Brooks. Appreciate it. Let me clip that. Thank you, Brooks.
Look, I didn't think congratulations. I just said FAMU won.
I can say thank you for saying that.
Hey, I want to pivot for a minute, man. I stayed up late last night. Let me say this. Howard, I've been watching HBCU basketball pretty intensely so far. Yeah. And Howard looked pretty scary versus Harvard, versus a couple of other teams they played this year. Jackson State, man, I got to tip my hat to the men's basketball team. Howard went on an 11-0 run in the first part of the game. They hit 3 threes back to back. And then, man, Jackson State turned it on. That was an amazing back and forth game. I think at one point in the last 3 minutes of the game, Jackson State was up by as many as 14. Really, really impressive win by a very well coached Howard team who won the MEAC last year. I was very surprised that Texas Southern, man, they had like a 13-point lead with A&T about 5 minutes left in the game last night, and they allowed A&T to come back and win by maybe like 2 or 3 points. We play A&T this afternoon, well, actually this evening at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I hope everybody can tune in to ESPNU and watch that. But Jackson State's men basketball team, guys, they're pretty special this year. The defense, they play a lot of physical defense, very impressive.
Impressed.
They caused, I think they caused 25 turnovers for for Howard last night. So
Jeez.
I want to put the SWAC on notice and just HBCU basketball overall. The athletics in the SWAC so far this year has been very impressive. And I think we're going to have a great transition from the Celebration Bowl over into the basketball season. Definitely look for the SWAC and men's and women's play to make some noise for the rest of the season. So shout out to them.
You know what?
Hey, Brooks, let me ask you a question. So with that being said, do you think, because you know how we get screwed, so either way, I'm not going to disrespect it, but do you think we can, with Jackson State men, do you think they can win a first 4 game then, where they look?
So honestly, if Jackson State gets another maybe 2 out of conference wins, and just with the fact that we knocked off Arkansas State and Missouri, let's say we win the SWAC regular season and we win the SWAC tournament, I don't see Jackson State getting placed in the first 4 bid.
Wow.
Yeah, because and that's normally how it goes, right, Doc and Timona.
As far as what it is, so it doesn't. So with us, we're a 1 bid league, right? So our majority of your mid majors are 1 bid leagues. So Jackson State can be second or third in the conference in the regular season, but when the conference tournament comes, if they win the conference tournament, we have the automatic bid for the conference to represent the conference in the tournament. What's going to happen is they're going to look at Dr. McClellan, because he is over the committee for NCAA basketball too. Remember that. He's going to look at their resume that all the schools are going to, that qualified, that actually automatically qualified for the tournament. He's going to say, hey, you had losses you had an 8-point loss to Georgetown where you were pretty much neck and neck with them for majority of the game.
We led at one point, like 5 minutes left. I think we were up by 6.
Right, and then you're going to look at, but he's also going to look at that West Coast swing that we had when we played Loyola Marymount, San Diego, and Cal Baptist. He's going to look at that and say, it doesn't look good, but guess what? Because you qualified, you won your conference tournament, you're going to be put in the first. You're going to be put in the first. What's the first 8 now?
Well, see, and that's the thing. I kind of disagree, man, because looking at previous SWAC champions like Texas Southern or Norfolk State, etc., who won the regular season, won the conference championship, and they had a couple of out of conference wins. Like, because you got to remember, the last couple of years, Texas Southern, they knocked off a couple of Power 5 schools, but they didn't get placed in that first round of 4 out in Ohio. So
because what it is that because we, like I said, we are 1 bid league. So majority of your mid majors are going to be 1 bid league. Like,
but then wait. But didn't they play in the first 4 2 years ago?
They played in the first 4 2 years ago. They won the game and then they went into the second round.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of weird though, because I've seen SWAC champs or MEAC champs like Norfolk State get like a 15 seed, and they didn't have to go to that first round. Like I remember.
Now you're getting my point. So you think that this Jackson State men's team can be a 15 and the outside maybe? Because I don't know, Brooks, how old you are, but I'll give you this. And this happened with Lindsay's team. They had Lindsay Jack. This one Jack State was whooping everybody with Lindsay Hunter, and Lindsay was an 88 guy with me, and Lindsay came out of Murrah 88. And they was whooping everybody, but I think, if I remember correctly, they got upset by Southern in the tournament, and they had them slot, because what happened was they had the slot set for Jack State to be a 14 seed in the tournament, but they got upset by Southern in the SWAC tournament, and Southern went ahead and they had to give them the 14 seed even though they didn't deserve it, and I think Southern actually won a game. If I remember correctly,
that was Ben Joe's team right there.
Yeah, and I think they beat Georgia Tech, if I remember correctly.
They beat Georgia Tech, and then Jackson went to the NIT and beat UConn.
Right, exactly. So what you're saying is, and that's why I'm trying to, clarity for some of these people who don't know I'm taking the tournament. So you're saying that this team has the ability to get up to even a 14 seed, the way they're playing.
I mean, looking at Jackson State and Norfolk State, Well, I won't say a 14. I'll say a
Okay.
strong 15. I
Okay.
think Jackson and Norfolk have performed very well out of conference play. I thought Southern was going to be in that conversation, but they just lost bad to Southeast Louisiana the other night. So if Jackson and Norfolk can run through the conference and do what they're supposed to do, I honestly feel they'll get like a 15 seed. Now, here's the thing. It's possible for us to get 2 bids, even though we got to. So every conference in America gets an automatic bid. But your RPI, your strength of schedule, or if you're ranked at the end of the season, that's what's going to afford you the ability to get like a second bid, or like we see with the Power Five schools, multiple bids into the tournament. So if it's Jackson and Southern who look like the best team so far in men's, and y'all can correct me, would that be kind of fair? Just looking at the out of conference schedule so far, would Jackson and Southern look like, I guess, the most dominant men's team so far?
It's still, I mean, to me, it's still too early to look at right now. So
it damn sure ain't FAMU's men's team.
Right. So you're gonna, so you know who's another person we need to have on here to talk about HBCU basketball? Liv. Liv is real good, real great when it comes to breaking down both the men's and women's of both conferences. So she can let you know, she can tell you from off the rip like everything what's going on with basketball on the men's and the women's side. But when it comes down to it, like I said, it's still early. It's still early to explain because we're in December. Y'all know conference don't start until January, until we come back from the New Year's, right? From Christmas break and New Year's. So we don't start the conference back up until conference in January, and it's gonna be some games where you're gonna have to circle and be like, hey, we gotta watch this, we gotta cover this. Especially on the women's side in March 7th, when Jackson State and Pine Bluff go at it.
Oh yeah, that needs to be standing room only.
That's the only time that they're playing each other. That's the only time you're gonna see Tamika Reed and Dawn Thornton on the sidelines this season. They only play them one time. I wish that game right there was probably in like middle February instead of towards beginning of March, because it's like they play that game and then you turn around, you get ready for conference tournament.
Is that game in Jackson or Pablo?
If I'm not mistaken, I think that game is in Jackson. Let me see.
That game needs to be standing room only, man. Like it needs to be beyond packed.
That game, Brooks, where you said that game was at? Jackson or where? Or it was in Pine Bluff? Where's that game at?
I'm about to check and see.
Let me check.
I tell you what, this is what I do.
It's in Jackson.
All right, this is what I do. Tomorrow, I tell you what. What's the day of that game?
Thursday, March 7th.
This is what we're gonna do. Tomorrow, we're going to give away 4 tickets to that game.
Nice.
We're gonna give 4 tickets to that game. I want to see all them folks in the house, and we'll do something crazy. We can even have Brooks come on here and talk some more junk about FAMU and the Chitlin Bowl or something like that. But whatever. So y'all can mark that down. That we will give away 4 tickets let's do a joint show, right?
Oh yeah, you're gonna
do so we'll give this is what we'll do. We'll give 2 on your side, Doc, and 2 on Timona's side. All right.
That's cool with me.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Then y'all figure out what it is, whatever the contest or whatever it is, and then we can see a Brooks prediction about being a 14 seed or 15 seed is close, because that would be damn sure we'll know by then. We'll know by then. We'll know by then.
I'm gonna be real, man. Like just listening to the commentator every time Jackson State plays, the commentators talk about, and y'all got to remember, man, they played the University of Houston last week or the week before last. They were ranked
No,
number 3 in the
it
nation.
was last week. It
Yeah,
was
and
last week.
I think Houston was ranked number 3 in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
And the commentators were talking about how, Jackson State had a lead well into the game, that, they were scrappy, very physical team. Jackson State, man, this is probably the most talented. And you got to remember, like, I remember when Trey Johnson was at Jackson State, like about '07 when we won the SWAC. And they had a nice little squad. But this squad right here is top to bottom complete. And they've got reserves. Like they've got a little bit of depth. So it'll be really fun to see how far they'll go within of course, SWAC conference play and in the tournament. But the way they play defense and the way they're hitting threes, I don't know, man. This looks like a very special team.
Yeah. I'm looking at Jackson State women's schedule right now. And just in December, they done ran into their whole gauntlet right now on the women's side. So they played Kansas State early last week, 2 weeks ago.
Mississippi State.
They played Oregon State last week. They played Mississippi State Thursday. They got University of Miami on Wednesday. And then they go to Austin, Texas on the 27th and play the Longhorns here in Austin. And then after that, they go into conference play. That is a brutal schedule right there, y'all. And that's just on the women's side. I haven't even got to the men's side yet. I ain't got to Jackson State men's side yet. So we beat Howard last night. Of course, the beginning of this month, we lost to Houston by 34. We beat Howard last night. We got A&T this evening. We go to Washington to play Gonzaga, and then we go to Chicago to play Northwestern. So that's kind of I won't say a murderer's row, but to sprinkle in that number three team, the number 10, and the number 25 team in the month of December is crazy. Also playing Georgetown, we played Tulsa, beat Missouri, played Memphis hard at the beginning of the season. Like I said, that California swing kind of hurt us a little bit because it was just one of those things, like the time change and everything kind of get to you. Beat Arkansas State. And then, like I said, we go into conference play.
No, they play Gonzaga, I think next week. And see, that's the thing, guys. Looking at Norfolk State,
they play them this Wednesday.
Yeah. So looking at Norfolk State, to me, the reason why they're a consistently solid mid-major program. The reason why they're able to have like a consistent level of success in out-of-conference play, like you look at who they're scheduling. They're not scheduling a bunch of Power 5 schools. They're scheduling a lot of mid-majors like Richmond and Southern Illinois and George Washington and et cetera. So the thing is, the payouts may be smaller, but if your athletic budget is bigger, you don't necessarily need to, schedule a bunch of Power 5 schools. So I'm hoping, as we're moving forward with Mo Williams and Tamika Reed, of course, we can begin to see those revenues and budgets increase so we don't have to play. And don't get me wrong, the men's and women's at Jackson State, they're competing very well against these Power 5 programs. And I feel like it's preparing them for conference play to be able to dominate. But like you said, that California kind of stretch, you can tell, man, those kids were tired. So I feel like had we played more home games or possibly a good mix of mid-majors, we could have possibly knocked off, who was it? San Diego.
Loyola Marymount and Cal Baptist.
Absolutely. We could have knocked them off, man. But I'm excited, man. Looks like a really competitive season for both the men's and women's. Back to FAMU. I haven't really seen FAMU play as far as men's and women's basketball.
You ain't missing nothing. You ain't missing nothing. We see, Brooks, we were talking about football, and here you go ruining my mood. Now, see.
Hey, the football season, though. But look, I tip my hat. FAMU won. Very exciting game. It'll be interesting to see what the viewership was like. What was the attendance, or what did it look like on TV?
For the attendance yesterday, they said attendance was a little bit over 41,000. So it did not hit the capacity of what we saw with the Deion-led teams the last 2 years. But it did hit more than what you saw when the A&T teams were down in Atlanta too. So that was a better stretch as far as what we saw with the attendance. I don't know how many actually watched the game yesterday. So that's something that I'm probably gonna look into.
I think they
had a larger attendance in the Panthers game today. For sure.
Yeah.
The Carolina Panthers didn't have nobody there. It was empty.
Yeah, that was but you know what? To your point, Simona, I mean, the HBCUs, particularly the SWAC, we've been consistently outpacing when it comes to attendance and just general interest. Not only then over Power 5 schools and FBS programs, but some NFL teams. So I hope that the production that was put on yesterday, the Celebration Bowl, is just another reminder to all HBCU alums of our value and our worth. And as these contracts, whether it be for the Celebration Bowl, the Classics, etc., as they come up, we need to be at the table to renegotiate these contracts to get more incentives and payouts. Because over 41,000, that's a really good number. There's a lot of FBS bowl games that don't even get that. So we've got a great thing going. I think it may be time to maybe increase that payout. But I know they'll come out with the Nielsen ratings probably Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, Monday.
Okay. So yeah, we'll get a better understanding of what the viewership was like. But it was a great SWAC season. A lot of close games. FAMU again, they won. FAMU had quite a few close games this year. When I say close, I mean within the first 3 quarters, it was pretty close, and then they kind of pulled away from a couple teams. But with the hiring of the brother at Grambling, and of course what TC is doing, and looking at what Alabama State's got cooking, I think next year will be just as exciting. So good 23 season. Time to move on to basketball, because I ain't trying to hear FAMU name no more. They need to go back into obscurity. I'm playing. But hey, let me ask you. For Doc and Mr. Campbell, when you went to the game yesterday, were there a lot of Howard fans, or what was the vibe like?
Listen, I didn't go to the game yesterday, but I had it yesterday.
Okay.
Wait a minute, can you guys hear me?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Now, well, let me tell you something. If Howard would have brought anybody, it would have been 50,000 people there. If they would have brought anybody, that was the problem. And that's what's so disappointing for as big a school as Howard. The name that those people, I don't care if they don't care about football. This is a big deal. And them Howard people got money, and it's Atlanta. To the life of me, I am not understanding why the mega superstar Howard alums and all of them did not rally around their team and say, hey, we need to turn this in to DC South. Because that just doesn't, I'm still baffled by that. I know a lot of people from Howard. I got a lot of friends that went to Howard. And even then, I was like, hey, you coming to Atlanta? Yeah, man, ain't nobody, not no coming. And that was crazy to me. So it just blew my mind. And I think that would have helped that team. Because you guys have been to Celebration Bowl twice. You know how when that dome gets rocking with the other team, it's like a home field. It was a FAMU home field. So for Howard should have brought at least 15,000 people. They should have brought 15,000, and they did.
I will tell you this: my homegirl Erica Lee, she'll let you know. She'll say, yes, it was some Howard people there, but she would have told you, she gonna tell you that it should have been more there. But it was a who's who amongst HBCU independent media personality that was there. I wish I was there. I wish I would have went there yesterday, but I had to work. I streamed the game yesterday. So that was good.
I'm gonna tell you. So I think with Howard, it was very reminiscent of what I saw with A&T in the first Celebration Bowl. So the first one, and I went to that one. The SWAC and Alcorn was very well represented.
Deep.
And on A&T side, it was very skimpy. Like not a lot of people were there. Talking to and of course they won that game. Talking to the Aggies here in Charlotte, they were like, prior to the game, they wanted to do the playoffs. But when they went to Atlanta, it was like, okay, this is where we need to be. So it was almost like they put out a bat signal and they told all the alums. And the second year, of course, they all showed up pretty deep. Actually, it was the third year they went back because the second year was NCCU and Grambling. But I think maybe that's what it was with Howard folks. And as their alums tell the other alums, hey, this is definitely, a vibe. For SWAC people or people from the Deep South, it's not a hard buy-in for us to come out and collectively support. I think it's just an East Coast thing. They kind of wait back and see what it's going to be like the first time, and then they'll come out and support. But I agree. Had they showed up, it definitely would have been aesthetically on television. It would have looked a lot better because I did see some empty seats.
Well, that's because that dome is just big. That dome holds a lot of people. That dome is going to look empty. I mean, y'all had almost 50 in there, and you still was 25,000 short what that dome holds. You know what I mean? Yeah. So 25,000 seats is 25,000 seats. So again, Howard people, for what that was, and not being funny, I'm keeping it real. If anybody knows Howard football history, this ain't even guaranteed they even get back to this point.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not, but they got a great coach and they can build. But my point of it is, when there's something special like that, you don't take it for granted. You know what I mean? Right. You show up and you come and you support your team. And again, Howard has money. You know what I'm saying? Howard has alumni in Atlanta, deep, big alumni base. Howard is a big school. You know what I'm saying? Yep. It's not a little school. It's not Morehouse. You know what I mean? This is a big school with a lot of alumni. So they just kind of disappointed me on that.
And that's a good segue because there's a lot of rumors about Morehouse in talks of going to the MEAC. I know MEAC wants to, of course, grow and get into that Georgia market, but I don't see it, man. I don't see Morehouse being consistently committed to athletics or just Division I. What it takes to
happen. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. That's number talk. Morehouse people are not going to do that.
You get Clark Atlanta up in there, they'll talk more than Morehouse, but
Morehouse is not going to make the commitment to that.
Yeah, and plus it's an all male school too, so you gotta it's some things that you gotta put into place as far as when it comes to Title IX and the women's sports. So that's another subject to talk about. But like with Clark Atlanta going into if they can get to MEAC and get into the Georgia market, to the Atlanta market, that would be a great sign right there. But what I would say with this, with turnout from Howard, to me, it's the HBCU national championship game. It's for all the marbles. Doesn't matter if your team is 6-5, 7-4, 8-3, whatever. It is for the national championship game, and everybody that's a Howard Bison alum or a student or just a fan in general should have been down in Atlanta yesterday. Of course, fam, you was gonna get up there because why? Tallahassee ain't number 4 hours from Atlanta. That ain't nothing. That ain't nothing but a hot skip and a jump. Just getting the car gas up one time. You on the road. You going up 400 when you get into Georgia. It does like I seen with the Rattlers, and even when I seen it at the SWAC championship game, and Mr. Campbell, you could say, we saw this at the game. Even though it rained, you still had close to 15,000 people out there at Bragg Stadium to watch our team win the SWAC championship in the rain with 2 rain delays to be exact. You know, you in the dome, and I bet you, fam, you brought it purely at least about 25 to 30,000 people. It had to be that. It had to be that.
But the thing about it was disappointing, and I'm going to go with Brooks on this. This is to show the world, and this is how we get money. We got to pack those games out because this helps the conferences. The MEAC is crying about money. Well, guess what? The white man going to do? Well, listen, y'all ain't even showing up for your games.
Yeah.
So where's the leverage at? Where's the leverage at? But so that's my problem with that.
But you know what? I'm glad you said that because there's already talks about, even with that Battle of the Bands, you know, those who are in the know are saying ESPN probably is not going to take that risk again because of the low attendance.
Well, let me. I don't mean. Hold on, wait a minute. Let me do my sound off on that. Let me get off on this. I live in Atlanta. That was listen. They had before they moved to Houston. They used to have the Honda Bell of the bands in Atlanta. And Brooks, I'm pretty sure you've been in the band. You know, but that thing would get 45, 50, 60,000 people in there. That was the worst promoted event for a band event. Nobody knew anything about it. Nobody knew who was in it. There was no synergies between the schools. And I'll tell you another thing too, because if you're going to do the contest, what they did every week, you know, the rankings would change. They didn't even promote that. They didn't put any energy in it because all I know is Southern was up, right, in the rankings, whatever these rankings were. And then y'all were like 3rd or 4th, you know what I'm saying? And then y'all were number 1. They didn't even promote that y'all jumped them. You know what I'm saying? That's a big deal. How did Jack say, we don't even know how y'all finished there? So then you don't even promote the sonic boom of the South, their tradition of knowing this. And then you got, you know, and A&T's got a nice band. I'm not going to disrespect the, what is that, Marching Blue and Gold? That's what they're called, right? The Marching Blue and Gold. Yeah. And then you got this. Yeah. So you don't even do it because the way it should have been done, it should have been done the way they do the Bayou Classic, right? The Bayou Classic band competition with Southern and Grambling, that's like part of the game, right? It's like you got to be there for this, and then you go to the game on Saturday. They didn't do any of that. It was like it was totally disconnected from the game.
Yeah.
So that they totally ruined that because that should have been 40,000 people in there. You should have had all the high school bands there, all those kids there coming to see that and things like that. You, like I said, you got a big name brand band like Jackson State. You don't even let, you know, it's not even on the radio. I should be hearing Get Ready every 5 minutes. The sonic boom on the top and dun, 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 dun. You know what I'm saying? Where's the hype at?
So let me provide some context without going too deep into specifics. I was told, you know, there were band directors of some pretty prominent bands, including Jackson State and Southern, who had a lot of reservations about this event. Number one, operations wise, and this is going back into like August, but number two, a lot of band directors had reservations as far as how this would be judged. Like all these other ballad of bands, like the Honda, you got the National Ballad of Bands in Houston. None of those events are judged; it's just exhibitions. But for us to have a first, I guess, an inaugural adjudicated event, everybody knows HBCU bands are very varied. The styles are different. It's not like DCI, to where everything looks the same. So there's quite a few band directors that voiced their concerns to ESPN and to the judges, but no one ever got back to the directors as to what the scorecard would look like, how much weight or percentage will be given, you know, when it comes to drills, arrangements, execution, auxiliary, etc. So I do know for a fact that some prominent bands actually pulled out towards the end, and that's why you saw some of these bands jump up. So I won't say it was politics. Well, yeah, there was definitely politics that came into play as far as the winning. But outside of that, from an aesthetic standpoint, when it came to the operations and just the marketing, that could have been done a lot better. But to your point, Mr. Campbell, yeah, that's how, the people that are in charge, they want to see butts in the seats. And I feel like the SWAC, whoever is representing the SWAC and the Celebration Bowl, SWAC folks are going to come out and support. I remember the first one I went to, man, it was beautiful. It was like, I was on the MARTA. I saw cats from Pine Bluff, Valley, Texas Southern. When I went to the hotel, I met two Texas Southern alumni who flew from Houston. So we're going to come out and support our conference. I just think it's a cultural difference. Like when you're looking at the MEAC rep, it's almost like it's all on that school to support. They don't have that kind of cohesive family type of vibe that we got in the SWAC to where they can count on all the schools to come out and represent. So I think that might be a conversation that they have to have collectively among those conferences, amongst those schools. But it looked like a pretty great event, though. Like very entertaining. A lot of, I just feel like the vibe in the stadium was nice. So I'm glad, Mr. Campbell, you got a chance to check it out. And just from your perspective, Celebration Bowl versus the FCS playoffs, what would you tell those alums who maybe didn't get a chance to go but are still pro playoffs? Like, would you tell them, hey, this is a better?
Well, look, I've been to every Celebration Bowl. I've been to every one of them. So I'm a Celebration Bowl guy because here's the thing. I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna reverse the question. What do you think Central is thinking right now? What do you think they would have rather been in Atlanta or playing up there in that cold in Richmond on Thanksgiving weekend?
Oh, definitely Atlanta. So
that's the point right there. That's the point right there. Because when that game, when you guys played, because we had, so let's throw the records out for a second. Let's just talk about the football being played, right? Mm-hmm. That game that you guys played against Central was a great game to watch. If you like football, that was an exciting game. This game here that went back and forth was a good game to watch because it was exciting. You didn't know who was going to win and things like that. And that environment, when you're in that dome, and I told people this, when you start looking up in that clock and you know there's a finality to that thing, you start feeling the pressure and the players start feeling the pressure. The playoffs, I'm just saying this again, it's not fair for HBCUs. It's not fair. So when you got to go and these guys, again, playing Richmond that's got $3 billion endowments, North Dakota State, that's the flagship school of North Dakota, and things like that. So my thing is, I'd rather us play a game that means something to us because we have historically named Black national champions. This ain't nothing new. You know what I'm saying? We've done that. So this is in that fine tradition. So I understand that people say play the best and all that. The only thing I would say is if we're going to play the best, then I want the state of Mississippi to give Jackson State their $1 billion that they owed, and I want the state of Florida to give FAMU their $2 billion. And if you give Jackson State their $1 billion and give FAMU their $2 billion, we'll beat everybody's ass in the country. Yep. That I can guarantee you. If you gave Jackson State $2 billion that they owed, $1 billion that they owe, and Jackson State and FAMU $2 billion, what you think we're going to look like? You think we couldn't recruit the best players? We wouldn't have the training tables and all these things that are needed to be a championship team on that level. Mm-hmm. So see, they try to trick us to say, well, you want to play the best. I don't mind playing the best as long as I'm prepared like the best of the play.
And let's be honest, because you mentioned the Dakotas. Let's be honest, man. Those schools, the Montanas, the Dakotas, they're FCS in name only. Right. Period. Like, there's a reason why a lot of FBS and Power 5 schools will not schedule those Dakotas and Montanas because they know they're gonna lose. So, and you look at those schools; they're also like the flagship schools of their state.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Or they're like the flagship land grant school. So they're getting a whole bunch of money. The stadiums they play in are gargantuan. It's not apples and apples, when people have those conversations about HBCUs playing the elite schools in the FCS, because we're not on par. They're not even on par with majority of the rest of the FCS, PWI, or HBCU. So, honestly, and it was crazy. I remember Montana's athletic director a couple of years ago writing a letter to their alumni and him stating, of course, that the FCS playoffs was basically like a Ponzi scheme and they were losing money. And a lot
they always lose money. Why do you think Dave Benson did?
But he was correct.
Yeah, they've already said it loses money. They've already admitted. So this is this is what people don't understand. White people do not care about FCS football. You know, most of those fans, they root for the big state school. So do you think that the people down in Texas care about Sam Houston? No, they don't. They went to Sam Houston, they root for Texas. Do you think the people at Jacksonville State care about Jack? No, they don't. They root for Alabama.
Yep.
So that's what we don't do that. We don't do that. We root for Jack State. We root for Southern. We root for FAMU. So they don't even care. But when you got North Dakota, South Dakota, and the governor attended South Dakota State, South Dakota, North Dakota State, what do you think Jack State would look like if Tate Reeves was a black guy that was an alum for Jack State and the whole legislature were Jack State alums?
Exactly.
It'd look a little bit different, wouldn't it? Because we know the hustle that the Mississippi State and Ole Miss alums and the Florida State and the Florida alums do. That's why they get shit. Because they don't want to pass the bill. Y'all can't even get a dorm, get out of conference because them white folks at Ole Miss and Mississippi State block it every year.
Yep.
But Ole Miss can get $8 billion to go build something. Now, of course, I'm being facetious with the number, but you got to know what I'm talking about. So my thing is, again, I'm all about playing the best. Because, again, that's the reason why we have more Hall of Famers than any of these schools. See, don't tell me about your team, all this. Show we have Hall of Famers. You don't. We do. We have Jerry Rice. We have Steve McNair. We have Walter Payton, Rob Brazile, Bullet Bob Hayes, Michael Strahan, on and on and on. What guy? All the awards are named after SWAC and HBCU guys.
The Coach of the Year award is named after the
Jerry Rice Award, the Walter Payton Award, all these awards, the Eddie Robinson Award, they're all named after us. So my thing is, again, you know, when people see, and again, I understand the playoff thing, but I'm just telling you, being in that atmosphere, and as like I said, I'm close to 3 schools. There's no secret. I was there with Grambling. I sponsored Grambling, the dance team. So I was there with their championship runs. Everybody knows what my relationship with Jack State is, and everybody knows my relationship with fans. So basically, that's 2, 4, 5 celebrating bowl. I'm talking about I had a direct interest of a team winning, right? And there was nothing like being a part of that crowd, still in that championship. And I'm telling you right now, I could care less who win, because when is the LCS championship? Next weekend, right? In Frisco, is that right?
It's 2 weeks. It's January the 7th.
Yeah. I could care less. Because guess what? I'm going to say we're Black College National Championship champions, and I'm going to wear my jacket, and I'm going to have it on there. I could care less.
I'm going to say this. I'm be honest with you. I'm be like this. When they come in, it's going to be Montana versus South Dakota State.
Yeah, and all them white folks are going to come down there. What else they got to do in them states? So they're going to show up. But they still ain't going to put 45, 50,000 people in like we do.
Oh, no. It's at Toyota Stadium, so it's only going to hold 20,000. It's the soccer stadium for the FC Dallas, and also it doubles as the high school stadium for Frisco ISD.
So there you go. So listen, I'm happy. And again, FAMU has, so this is what I'm saying. So FAMU looks at it. We've actually won the whole damn thing, and we won playoff games. So I've seen both sides of it. But I tell you what, here's what I will tell you, Brooks. When we went and played them playoff games, it wasn't a bunch of FAMU people up in Eastern Illinois.
Right, exactly.
It wasn't. And we're winning games. And it wasn't a bunch of people. But I tell you what, it was it was 41. It was 35,000 rattlers in that dome Saturday.
And you know, that's what I feel like we got to do a better job. I think HBCU alums in general have done a phenomenal job with the Celebration Bowl as far as support. But I just think the marketing of it from our standpoint could be a lot better, because, you know, I had a couple of friends here who took their high school age kids down to Atlanta the last couple of years, and they were blown away. Mainly because that was the first time they had been in a venue where they saw that many beautiful, educated Black people. You know what I'm saying? Like
with all the different school logos all over.
Exactly.
Like you said, all over.
Our kids need to see that firsthand. So I would encourage everybody in the chat, if you have not attended or if you have not made it a family event, please do. It is very family friendly, but just for those young kids, high school, middle school age, to lay eyes on all these beautiful Black people repping their school. You can see Black excellence everywhere. I know y'all was talking about the Bougie Bowl and all that, but sometimes our kids do need to see some maybe affluent African Americans that have matriculated at HBCUs, and they can be like, okay, that's something I can do too. But the vibe that I've seen in the Celebration Bowl, hands down, like even there was a lot of A&T people, man. There was like G-Hole, Aggie Eagle, none of that can compare to the vibe they got at the Celebration Bowl. And, I hope we can maybe replicate that. Now, I'm not a Deion fan, but I do agree with him. I would like to see more bowl games among HBCUs, maybe add a second one, maybe in New Orleans or another dome type of venue. But if we can duplicate that type of vibe and payout and exposure for 2 other Black colleges, hey, I'm all down, man. The more exposure we get to show off our brand, the better.
Well, Brooks, I always respect everything you say, and I'm gonna co-sign everything you just said because the thing Tupac said it. If I had been around doctors and lawyers, I would have been a doctor lawyer. I was around thugs and drug dealers.
Yep.
So influence is always important. So when you walk in that building, and the thing about, and I'm just gonna keep it 100. So KJ was up there with us, and KJ's a lawyer. And guess what I was able to do? Introduce her to another lawyer, and this person that was a vice president of this, and this person who's a millionaire that owns his own business. And hey, go talk to this person who's your sorority sister, who is the vice president of that. All in one suite. In one suite. So 2 generations that are connecting. She went to Jack State. These people went to FAMU. And in the end, it was all HBCU love of Black excellence. So when she said, because KJ's resume is amazing, and she said, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that. And my people say, well, if you this, that, and that, you need to call this, this, and this. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So my thing is, when you bring this, and this is what I'm saying, again, if we keep doing, look at what the recruiting that you guys are doing. And I'm just trying to say, we're getting ready to drop some bombs in recruiting. I already know. I know who's coming. And we're getting ready to drop bombs. We're good. Mickey Joseph. So if he pulls that at Grambling. Yeah. So if we get these players that we're used to getting, the quality players, then to your point, then nobody can even say nothing because now we got the best players and we got the best visuals. Because even with Howard's little bitty band, that's their little marching hearts, I get it. Them jokers, when they got up, them jokers started rocking.
Oh, yeah.
Them jokers started rocking. That little 50-piece band, because and the 100 was sitting there. And then when we got going, then the 100 started going. And that whole visual of the bands and the football team and all of these people that are at this game that look like us. I'm going to use the Deion. I like being in a place that looks like us. That's incredible.
And you know what? Just to add value to that, and for anybody who may still be kind of on the fence as to why it's important for HBCUs to get a lot of these talented kids, these Black kids, because you got to understand these PWIs, it's $1 billion industry. And just think about over the last 40 years, how much these PWIs have been earning. You got to understand HBCUs, the revenue that we produce, whether it be from athletics or from whatever, is filtered right back into the Black communities that we directly serve. And I can speak to Jackson State regarding that. A lot of the initiatives, we got an all-girls STEM academy during the summer, hosted by Jackson State. We do a lot of community service endeavors and directly in the city of Jackson and in Mississippi. And that's all because of the revenue that we're generating. But think about if that revenue was increased tenfold, or 100-fold, like you see at these PWIs. Think about the direct type of impact that our HBCUs could have on the Black communities that we serve. And that's what they're scared of, because they already know what we're going to do with that money. It's going to go right back into those communities. And it's going to build up a Black wealth.
But hey, let me say this, though.
Hey, you guys, this Uncle said, just whenever my turn, I don't mean to cut you off or anything, but from a very important insider, I'm gonna go back on mute, but I have an update through IHL on how much money is owed through 7 schools, and just let me know whenever you guys ready. I'm going back on mute.
Oh, okay. So looking at it to where we was talking about the bowl game with the Celebration Bowl, just look at it where we had the inaugural Florida Beach Bowl this past Wednesday. And it might not have been attended as well because, it's in South Florida, it's in, with the rain and everything. But on the standpoint of the viewership, having over 700,000 people watch the game was tremendous. And then to go back, like you said, Uncle Steve, when we was talking about the prominent, with KJ and me, with prominent people, you know, being on that side, like at the SWAC championship game, being on that sideline, and you know, don't get me wrong, I wanted to be in the booth, I wanted to be, you know, away from the elements and stuff like that, but I put myself on that sideline. I like, look, just put me on the sideline, I'll take care of the rest. So getting on there, and the first person that I actually met and just reached out to was AD Sykes. And you know, looking at her with her energy, because she, you know, that's a real sportswoman right there. Like, I'm not kidding y'all. That's a real sportswoman. It's just like having AD Campbell. She's a real sportswoman. She's gonna ride for her team, win, lose, or draw. She don't care if it's raining. She don't care if her hair get wet. She was out there on the sideline cheering them boys on. That's the first person I talked to, and then like you said, it matriculated down from talking to her, talking to Ashley Robinson, talking to John Grant, talking to Dr. McClellan, Andrew Roberts, in the media, Charles Bishop, of course, Dr. Cavill, and you know, so forth and so on. Like, it's good to get those type of connections, because you don't know if an opportunity is going to come your way, and when it do come your way, are you going to be man or woman enough to take it? That's the whole thing about with the connections, about, you know what I'm saying, having the connections. When it comes down to it, we need this. I I was in school for the last time we went to the playoffs, and that was in 1997. And we got our head busted to the white meat by Western Illinois in the cold. Don't know why we went up there. We had a better record than they did, and we went up there and we tried to play hard, but you know, they got the best of us. But after that, we had not played in a playoff game until, like I said, 2021. As far as in the SWAC, till 2021, with the FAMU team that came in that first year, and what happened then. But I'd rather have the Celebration Bowl for FCS. I'd rather have the Florida Beach Bowl for Division II. If they could make another bowl game just to kind of match up other teams, I would be happy with that. You know what I'm saying? Just teams with, you know, some teams with winning records and stuff like that, I would be happy with that. But I would have that there to be put in a position where I'm losing money instead of trying to make money. But
okay. Whoa. I need to get to one of them games and get on the sideline.
That's the sideline. The sideline was hot though. It just being because I was in the end zone. I was in front of the field house, and so that's where the commissioner, they was under the tent and stuff like that. And you know, during the second rain delay, I got myself up under the tent.
I don't know about getting my eye weave hair wet.
It was just raining.
Okay, so Brother Bakari is on the line and Mr. Walker. So I'm going to let Mr. Walker talk, and then Brother Bakari, please, after Mr. Walker.
All right. As of last week, through IHL evaluation, due to semester end, number one, Tennessee State, 2.89 billion. FAMU, 2.3 billion. Jackson State, 1.47 billion. BCU, 987 million. Mississippi Valley State, 427 million. Alcorn State University, 947 million. Hampton University, 972 million. And those were the ones that changed as of last week of semesters in. And like I said, I have an inside person that gets me that information, and I'm actually kin to him. So we were born up. Let's just say we grew up in the same household. But yeah, it's kind of sad of the monies that is owed. It really doesn't make sense because if you were to get things of that nature, as even just a third of the money that's owed, I can't imagine what academia would be, as well as athletics. It would just be major. So like I said, just want to share that with you guys. It's kind of tough. I read a couple comments in the chat, and just to let people in the chat understand that you have to look at the bigger picture, because there's a such thing called legislature. So when you in a red state, typically they have the power to shoot stuff down. So we have to be mindful, and we also have to be educationally aware of politics. So I just want to share that with you guys. I'm gonna go back into the chat. I don't really have a lot to say because it's very disheartening. When I got the news, very disheartening. All right, thank you,
Brother Bakari.
Hey, what's up? How y'all doing? Is Mr. Campbell still up here? I wanted to congratulate him and his FAMU Rattlers.
Oh Lord, he's gonna enjoy that. What you say, Brother Bakari?
Brother Bakari is a man of truth. That's the reason why we teach.
I want to congratulate. Look, I respect FAMU. I told you my homies, two of my best homies went to FAMU. So I've been hearing it all. I've been hearing it all year. But I respect I respect FAMU. I'm being honest. I was pulling for FAMU, then the SWAC. I think I don't know if that was Mr. Campbell or not, but I think that was one of my friends, Chad Fan, played tight end at FAMU, went to the league.
I absolutely do know Chad Fan. Absolutely, I do.
Yeah. Me and his brother best friends. So yeah, so I wanted to congratulate FAMU. But now I'm going to talk about, look, it's some things when we talk about money, it's things that we can do. In Jackson State in particular is in a special position. You have to understand that, right? When people come in, they stay in those, they're going to have to stay in the hotel, even not in Jackson, around Jackson, right? Jackson State should have business people. We have to go out and talk to these people about donating. I'm telling you, this is just from my experience running my business, right? The people that kept me afloat when I was making real money doing press was the biggest. I'm just being honest with you. Was the white racist biggest? Them the ones that, because they don't want you around, so they willing to do whatever because they know they gonna get something from it. So you can talk to them folks. Them folks will, because they know they're gonna make money on the other end. So when you're in a position where you the only show in town, in those hotels, in those other restaurants, everything not just in Jackson and stuff that around Jackson and stuff that they say coming around Jackson, they talking about Top Golf and all that. We have to deal with these. You're gonna have to talk to these folks. Then we have to look and see. I like what Ken Clark did when you come up with initiative to see things that we can do, because we can talk about what they owe us. We can talk about what they owe us, and trust me, I'm not forgetting what they owe us, because they absolutely owe us. But we have to look in the mirror and understand we owe us as well. I have never seen anything like this. After the FAMU game yesterday, I was listening to a channel. I have never seen another group of people pulling for their best to, I show her Willie leave FAMU now. Look how good he coaching. That's absolutely insane. We are the only people. So then when you come, it's the same. So the HBCU is a microcosm of the neighborhood. So what do the people who make money in the neighborhood, what do they do when they leave? When they make money, they leave. You're better once you leave your own people. We have to start seeing ourselves in a different light. And if we start to do what we do, we have a responsibility. Because right now, we don't even have a real community. We have neighborhoods, there's no more communities. But we have to start taking care of one another. While they owe us, we owe us, we have to start looking at what we can do for ourselves to make things bigger. Instead of these people who said they went to FAMU or the one do something they used to coach and won't willing to go and what they gonna do for a black man to get the bottom of the barrel HWCU job, instead of sitting there hoping he leave because you can earn their respect, we should be figuring out a way what we can do so we can get what FAMU need to be figuring out what they can do so they can get Willie salary up to $750,000 to $1 million to keep him there. So then you can pay his coordinators. Instead of hoping he leave, instead of thinking that somebody else is going to do it for you. They're not going to do it for us. We have to do it. Yes, we do need to continue to fight for what is owed, but we also need to look in the mirror and pull our pants up and say, what do we owe ourselves? Now I'm going to go to the playoffs, right? I'm not a big proponent of playoffs. I don't care about the playoffs, really. I care about HBCUs playing those teams and beating them during the regular season. I don't even care if they won't give me a home and home. You're going to pay me to come to your house to play you. I'm going to come to your house. I'm going to take their check and I'm going to kick your behind. Because, see, for me, and a lot of people don't think like me, and I've said it 100 times. I don't see myself, I don't want to just be the best. I am the best black. Now, I'm the best, period, bar none. Montana, them Dakotas ain't got what Jackson State, FAMU, Grambling Valley. It don't make a difference, but they most definitely don't have what Jackson State and FAMU have. They're the flagship universities of their states. Y'all can Google and look at their facilities, since that's what everybody like. It's not. I'm telling you, it's not going to be much of a difference. Yes, the FCS playoffs is more important to them. What we need to do is figure out a way to where we can have a couple of more bowl games, so teams with, can get rewarded for having good seasons. And on that note, I yield the mic.
That's
Well,
Uncle Coon Luke. He's always advocating for the best of the best to leave and come to Power 5 because that's where it's at, according to him. His poor friend can't win more than 4 games to save his life, but for some reason he feels like that's better. So I have to get ready to get on the road from Lexington, Kentucky to St. Louis. So I don't mean to cut you guys off, but luckily Doc Holliday has a show right at 7:30 p.m.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock Central or
Central.
So 8 o'clock Eastern time. Doc Holliday, do you want to drop that link?
Yeah, I've already put it on Twitter, so everybody who's seeing it on Twitter, you can go and have it to where you can go into the chat and everything, and also you can share it with other folks that are Jack State alum, that share with people from Mississippi Gulf Coast, share with anybody that wants to view this interview, because Miss Veronica has she's a loyal supporter on both platforms. She wants, her cousin to have some sort of recognition, to get his name out there and let him know who he is. And we gonna, I'm gonna do that for him. And I'm doing that because she asked me, and she wanted me to ask you, because she trusts both of us to actually put him out there and make it to where his name is good. His name gonna look good.
All right. So then the next time that I'll be live, barring that Fred McNair's not named Texas Southern's head coach tomorrow. No. The next time I'll be live is on Wednesday for the early signing day. Thank you all for tuning in and supporting both me and Doc. If you would like to support me for this week, I'm gonna ask not to necessarily the funds won't be going towards the channel. My grandfather did pass away on Monday, and I found out about it on Tuesday.
I'm going to bury my grandpa.
What'd you say, Braxton?
I'm going to bury my grandpa.
He said he's gonna go bury his grandpa. So I am accepting donations for that because we had to drive up here and stay in the hotel. So please, thank you for all your well wishes and condolences online. I'll be back to the pettiness by Thursday, after it all shakes out. But if you would like to make a donation to me, hit the Cash App, please. Thank you so much. It's greatly appreciated. A beautiful show again. We keep having these great shows, Doc. They supposed to be an hour long, but they always end up being
2.5, 3 hours, 4 hours long.
Well, at least we didn't talk about Kentucky Fried Chicken tonight.
Oh my God! Don't say that, man.
Because no Kentucky Fried Chicken tonight, okay?
But Toma, I do think we need to start the Kentucky Fried Chicken Awards. We did give Cornell Maynard one, so I do think at least every month we give somebody a Kentucky Fried Chicken because that's very important in some people's communities, I guess. But
wait. When did we start giving out the Kentucky Fried Chicken?
No, I was being funny. Remember, I gave Cornell Maynard for
somebody tagged me and said that they had the Kentucky Fried Chicken for lunch.
Yes,
because of our lives.
Yeah, that won't say that. Well, we need to have the Kentucky Fried Chicken Awards for people that just doing some foolishness. You know what I'm saying? And not represent.
So we call it the KFC Awards.
Yeah, the KFC Awards. Make you a nice little graphic and stuff like that. And we just need to give people the KFC because we need to support that. You know what I'm saying? We need to support that.
So is that going to be on? Oh, okay. So I'm going to share this. I was on my head yesterday. So let's put this on wax. Put it on wax. You got a bulldog in the chat saying how did he get it? How did Conor Maynard get into this?
Because his coach, his position coach, his OC put him in that position, and he should never put him. He should never put the school or even just the football program in that position. So I mean, like I said, what he said, some of the stuff that he said, it was true, but should you have kept it to yourself? That's the main thing. All I say, keep it to yourself. A lot of stuff shouldn't need to be, it don't need to be said.
A lot of stuff that's said behind closed doors stays in the group chat. So this is, of course, we're just gonna put it on wax for Mr. Campbell and the FAMU Rattlers. Let's go ahead and put it on wax that Miss SheLovesThee says.
Miss SheLovesThee says.
Congratulations.
Well, we appreciate that. And like I say, that's just beautiful. That's just awesome. See, we can all people can see we all can get along. See, we all get along.
Why are we getting along? Because I said congratulations.
But hey, listen, that's the first step. That's a big first step.
And you know what? Today, I'm not going to say nothing shady behind it. I'm just going to say congratulations, even though yesterday it was Jackson State this.
Jackson State this. Jackson State that.
I'm just going to say congratulations to the FAMU Rattlers. So now you have it on wax.
There you go. And that will be clipped, and put in all the private FAMU groups. I'm just letting you know in the next 5 minutes. That's all. I'm just letting you know.
All right, everybody, have a good night. And until next time, we'll see you later.
Peace out, y'all.
Sunday.